Gary.
He said Hungary.
He's not allowed to win if he calls it Hungary.
And Chris Ello.
And as soon as the white smoke comes out the chimney, they've got a new pope.
What's
and
a
everybody
chimney?
celebrates. It's a chimney. It's my version of a chimney.
It's time to get you up to speed on all things sports.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
With plenty of nonsense in between.
Oh, look! Here comes our fearless producer!
Gwynn and Chris starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
What's up, San Diego? Welcome in on this Tuesday afternoon, last show of the week here for Gwynn and Chris. And you get the pleasure of having just Skraby and I today.
Oh, the pleasure.
Mr. Ello is still working his way back from the Bahamas. I believe the Lady Aztecs went 1-1 while out abroad, and they return home here tonight or tomorrow, right? Tonight, I think they come back.
Yeah, they get
tonight,
back.
so.
Chris is desperately trying to get on the show, but we told him not to worry about
but
it.
you guys know how that goes. When Chris isn't like fully set up, ready to roll, that means we will tell you he's going to be here, and then we push it back, and then eventually he does.
Like the time I was at Dave and Buster's by myself, and Chris kept saying, "I'm still on the bus," and I'm like, "That doesn't help me."
I'm still on the bus.
That's totally cool.
We get closer and closer to Thanksgiving. I hear, this is the busiest travel day of the break. Is this
of the
Tuesday,
holiday season
of the Thanksgiving week?
Wait, today?
Today is the busiest travel
I could buy
day.
that. I was like, what? Like, why are people traveling? And no, I could buy that. Like, I don't want to go anywhere near the airport, but I drew the great job of Thursday morning at like 8, going to pick up my sister and her kids and my brother-in-law from the airport.
Yeah,
so
that is a great privilege, man. You get to see your sis.
I could be playing
Her
Spider-Man
kids
at home,
get to
bro.
see their uncle.
Yeah,
who I'm sure they're excited to see.
I will see
Uncle
them
Matt.
when they get back, and I'll be done with my Spider-Man game by then. So.
Spider-Man game. So we're getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving. This will be the last show of the week for us. We will return Monday. Last night, kind of a mixed bag result here in San Diego. SDFC, we'll start with the good. SDFC, a thrilling 1-0 victory. Shout out to Baird, who set the goal up to Dreyer. It was a fun game to watch. Snapdragon was jumping, it looked like, which isn't a surprise when it comes to the SDFC. And so SDFC moves on to face Vancouver in the Western Conference Final. Now, how I understood it listening to it, because the thing that everybody is like kind of got their fingers crossed is obviously that SDFC wins the championship. But they also would like to see them do it against Mr. Messi, who is also in the Eastern Conference Final. How I understood it, how they explained it yesterday, was that no matter who comes out of the East, the Western Conference will be going there to play the championship game.
Yeah, which I have to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention yesterday because I was doing the other stuff. But
fair enough.
It seemed why doesn't the 1 seed get the home field advantage?
I'm not sure how that works
because I know that they play in the home. Well, we have 2 guests on today, so
yeah, I guess we can find out. Yes, we will be talking a little bit more about that. Now, on the bad side, the Aztecs.
Can I go back to the soccer game real quick?
Go back. Go ahead.
I have never been so pumped up for a 0-0 game in my life.
There was phenomenal
that
plays.
Save in the 46th minute. I couldn't believe what I saw. That dude was incredible.
I was watching it with my youngest daughter, Leighton, and my son, Trey. And I went upstairs and kind of got lost up there, kind of watching something that was on the TV. And I heard them like go, make a crazy no. Right, exactly. And so I came down and said, who scored? And they were like, no one scored, but great. So we kind of did our kind of DVR thing, rewound it a little bit.
And it was worth it.
It was an unbelievable save. I mean, the wherewithal not only to get the save, but then to keep his hands away from it, because you could just see that ball inching towards his hand, and it would have been a free kick. It would have been a penalty kick and so on. But great game. They advance. San Diego that much closer to getting a championship
I know.
here in 2025.
Cali Prolific has broken it down for us. It's all about the Shield, apparently. So if Miami goes to the championship, then they host. If it's SD versus New York in the championship, then we host.
So
So
Miami,
we gotta be
Shield-
cheering for Messi to lose.
the Shield is the best record overall. Is that what the Shield is? And I thought Philly got that.
Yes, they did.
And is it because Philly's out now? Does it go to the next? Like, how does that?
I would
that
assume
work?
so, but
So just to get this straight, if SDFC wins and Miami wins, SDFC goes to Miami,
correct.
which would suck.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't get to see Messi.
That's as far away as
it's just the
you can put
absolute
it.
farthest way you could go. On the flip side, if New York wins, right? I believe that's who the contestant is of Miami, right?
Yeah,
They'll come here, which
correct.
would be phenomenal. I don't think anybody would be mad about that one.
No, but I will say this about, and I when I went to the Aztecs game on Saturday, I was like, they clearly did not paint the field because they wanted it to look its best. And I know you can't avoid this, but I hate soccer games with a bunch of football markings all over the place.
Aesthetically, it's not the best.
It's not.
It's not the best looking thing, but I don't know that there's much that can be done.
There's nothing that can be done. But at the game on Saturday night, I was sad for the Aztec football players because there was no one there. And I don't even know if it's about the ticket prices anymore, because you would think that some people would be like, all right, I'm going.
I think we all just have to have patience with it.
All right.
Because the first 2 years that it was open, team wasn't very good. This year they are. Let's see if that starts to make a difference.
Yeah.
Because I can remember Padres when I was here, good team. No one was coming out.
I mean, they're kind of paying you to go to the games. At one point, it was like, see a game until you win.
Yeah, no, there was nobody coming out until this became like a thing, And so hopefully that's the case as we start moving forward.
All right, I've tried to get away from the bad story, but it's time.
Yeah, the Aztecs, who have a chance to bounce back here today against Oregon, did not put up a good showing yesterday. What was the final score? I
think it was 94-54.
I was just I was surprised. I didn't see that coming at all. And it got away from him seemingly in the second half. It just the lead stretched, and I look forward. We'll have Mark Ziegler on later on in the show. I want to ask him how we should process this. Like,
yes,
what does it mean?
Yeah,
does
it mean that they're not good?
Are they? I can't possibly come to that conclusion that they're not good. Just what happened for a game to get away in that type of fashion?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I had so much hope, and then they kind of put it together a little bit before halftime, but it was never close.
LZ looked good though.
Yeah, that's good. A freshman is good.
He got a nice mid-range game. He continues to be impressive, but that was a disappointing loss overall. Now they have a chance to bounce back against Oregon. They still, they got some other matchups that are going to be as tough. Arizona is on that schedule. They've looked really good start to season. And maybe it's one of those things you just got to get punched in the mouth one time to kind of like, no, okay. That hurt. It wasn't terrible. I can keep up with this, So we'll see. That was not what I was expecting, though.
No, it had shades of North Carolina last year, and I was like, is this like deja vu of what happened in the play-in game last year? But they'll figure it out. It's Brian Dutcher and co. will figure it out.
They usually do. This is not the time where they're at their best. I think this kind of been the MO for the Aztec basketball team. They kind of get better as we're going. Like I said, last show of the week, we got a full 4 hours with you. Ryan Finley will join us to talk a little bit about the SDFC game last night. Beto Duran will talk a little bit about the Lakers coming up. They got a nice crosstown rivalry matchup today. Clippers-Lakers taking place. So we'll get his thoughts on that. A Big Five, Mark Ziegler will join us. Kind of break down what we saw a little bit last night. That was a
and
tough
turn
one.
the page for tonight.
Yeah, and then we'll talk to Marcelo Balboa Apple TV about SDFC as well as they get prepared. See what this matchup looks like with Vancouver. These were remember, SDFC caught Vancouver on that decision Saturday. Vancouver lost that game, gave up the number 1 seed. And so the top 2 teams out of the Western Conference will meet once again.
So some revenge maybe on Vancouver's side, or at least trying for some revenge. On the other side, I do want to talk to you real quick about Padres bench coach and hitting coach, because they did bring in some guys. And we also found out that Tim Leeper is now at the Mets. So they're looking for another third base coach as well. Do we want to get in before we have a minute? Do we want to get into Brock Purdy's 3 interceptions in the first? No, okay, it's fine.
I think you should save that one. You should save Brock.
Good.
Who knows? You should save it.
Okay, because I was just trying not to talk about it at all, even though they won. But there is a point in the game that we're going to talk about in the Big Five where
it's funny. I had
Panthers player.
I had a discussion in the barbershop about you today.
Okay. Your barbershop has a 49ers guy.
They basically was like, Skraby should be happy today. I was like, yeah, he'll probably be excited. Some point we'll talk about it. And here we are, not even out of the first segment, and we've already been.
Don't
talked a little
start
Niners.
with me. If Chris was here, the Dolphins would have been the entire first segment. Okay,
whatever. Let's get to break. Strap in here for 4 hours with you. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side. Hey, Padre.
97.3 The Fan. Crisello traveling back from the Bahamas. He will be very tan when he gets back on Monday. Someone made fun of his very pasty white skin that we talked about in the slide. Yes, they're like, is that a polar bear? Which I can't be mad at, but I would never post myself without a shirt on.
I mean, first of all, I'm proud of him that he is not self-conscious enough.
No, I mean, he's in good shape.
Put it in there. Yeah, I mean, Chris doesn't come off as the type of person that allows his upper body to see much sun. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know exactly what you're saying.
He seems like he's gonna have his shirt on every time he possibly can.
The problem with him is he swims, but he swims at like 5 a.m.
There's no sun.
There's no sun.
There's definitely no sun out at 5 a.m. And if it is out, it's definitely not doing anything.
Yes, so. Nate, you were the one who said the polar bear comment. It was very funny, so I just wanted to give you some props for that. All right, Padres news. Still no news on the AJ Preller extension. I'm going to not worry until later.
Yeah. No, I think we'll just go with that for now.
Okay. Randy Knorr is now the bench coach for the Padres, and Steven Souza Jr. is now the hitting coach for the Padres. Now, before I'm ducking for all the tomatoes from the chat because the hitting coach is someone that everybody blames when the team can't hit.
Of course.
So, Tony, I know we've asked this and talked about this a million times. What does a hitting coach do?
A hitting coach is part psychologist, part instructor, part detective.
Detective to find out what's going on.
Right. Like,
okay. Maybe an engineer in certain ways.
And it's could be that too. It's something different for different guys. You might have 3 or 4 guys that are very like mechanically, they want to hear about that. Then you might have 7 guys that they don't even want you to mention a mechanic. They're field guys, right? Or there's so many different ways to kind of touch a guy, and what I mean by that is to be able to reach a guy, basically. But there are all those things. The best hitting coaches can kind of, morph into every one of those when they need to be, or give a piece of all of it. I mean, those are the best ones. There's really no science to.
That's what I was thinking, because ultimately it's up to the guys to swing at the ball.
Right.
And
if
Skraby,
you became the hitting coach tomorrow, and this year you had guys who had career years, Manny does his thing, you'd get a lot of credit for that.
Yes.
But in reality, it's probably that those guys were, special that season.
Yeah.
I think that's just kind of how it goes.
I've always baseball coaches.
You want a good hitting coach that can kind of, maybe remind you of the things that make you go, or remind you of the feel that you have. Maybe it's a hitting coach that's matching up your feel, what you feel, and what's actually happening, and finding a way to do that. I think that's just there's no exact science to it, no doubt.
I just choose to think of them as a therapist. You go to them when things are going bad, and you need some advice, or you need some sort of something to look at. That's what they're there for
sure. But
Steven Souza Jr. is he doesn't have any coaching experience, so he is a rookie hitting coach.
Both additions out of the Nationals family at one point. Steven Souza Jr. was a big prospect with the Nationals at one point, and then I think he was in that Myers deal.
Yes, he was
part of that.
He was part of the 3-team trade there.
So he was originally at Tampa then, and then went to Nationals, something along those lines, I believe.
Yes. The following offseason, Souza was one of the 11 players changing teams in a 3-team trade, sent Will Myers from the Rays to the Padres and Trey Turner from the Padres to the Nationals. It doesn't tell us where he came
Rays.
from.
He went from the Rays.
Nationals.
Yeah. So he was with the Nationals. I remember hearing about Steven Souza when he was a young cat coming up. He was one of those big time guys, I think. And then, his career unfolded the way he has. Now he's a hitting coach. I know that Steven Souza, the player, had a little edge to him. I don't know if that same season junior will have the same edge as a hitting coach now.
I
A
have
relatively
to say,
young hitting coach. Like
yeah.
Manny will be older. Like there'll be some dudes on this team that will be.
Some can argue that Manny could be the hitting coach because he's had enough experience, but I'm trying not to worry. But I'm a little worried that both of these important positions came from guys that he knew from the past. Craig Stammen, because he was on the Nationals, and Randy Knorr was the bench coach there.
He was there at least through 15.
It was 2012 to 2015 that he was there.
So 15 was his last year there. That was the year I got a chance to play with Stam. So I don't know. I do remember Randy Knorr being a good coach. I do remember that. But in terms of bench coach and how he's going to be able to help, I'm sure you want some comfort with your manager, and he's got some comfort with these guys. He knows them a little bit. So
yeah. Where does Ruben Nabla fit into all this? Obviously, he's pitching
associate
coach, manager.
So he's a little more.
So is this like a co-owned fantasy football team where two people are running the fantasy football team? Because I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, but someone has to be the point guy.
I don't know how that's going to work. I can't even begin to guess. I know.
Who are we going to blame, Tony, after a game?
I will leave it to y'all to do y'all detective work to kind of figure out.
Because Craig Stammen is going to be sitting in front of the media after the game. He is that. That's part of his job.
Oh, I meant to send you this. I think I did send you the clip, but maybe we'll play it. It was of Alex Cora talking about kind of the things that you don't think about as a manager until you're in.
Play it later. Yeah,
we'll find it for you guys. It was very interesting. It kind of ties into Padres former manager Mike Shildt, and it kind of ties into what Stam is going to be getting himself into as the year.
I found it
around.
Very interesting that Mike Shildt he's doing interviews.
I saw that. I
found that very interesting.
I'm about to check in with Mike, see how he's doing.
Yeah, you should check in with Mike and see how he's doing. Yeah, so there's the news. Tim Leeper, like I said, with the Mets now, so they're going to have to find a new third base coach, which should be, happy days for everybody out there, because apparently Tim Leeper wasn't a good third base coach. Am I filling the Chris role today? I feel like I'm filling the Chris role and hating all of the people out there.
I don't know. That's news to me. I didn't know that he wasn't well received.
Oh, you don't even have to worry about that, Tony. That's what I have to say.
He's not the Padre anymore, so I definitely don't.
Yeah, he's now going to get it from the Mets fans, which is even worse.
It'll be interesting to see who they bring in for third base. It's kind of an important spot in terms of, we saw Atlanta fire two of their third base coaches. So
I got a good arm.
No.
Go home.
It's not about it's about your eyes. Can you tell?
I have good instinct.
Do you?
Yes.
I don't think these.
I have very good instinct.
I don't think this is the same kind of instincts we're talking about.
Oh, I mean, if you're a third base coach, are you expected to be there as much as the other coaches?
Yes.
Because you have other
duties as well. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Leap also dealt with all the infielders and putting on the different coverages and things of that nature. So
this morning you sent me an article, and it's pertaining to the Padres, but it said one Black Friday 2025 free agent deal for every MLB team.
This was the Athletic. They did this.
Very excited about this. Clicked on it immediately. Saw these beautiful names as I'm scrolling through. And I get to the Padres, and their Black Friday free agent deal was Chris Bassett.
What's wrong with Chris Bassett?
That's not the name I wanted.
I do recall going through a list maybe a couple weeks ago, and Bassett's name came up, and I said,
"You did." I do remember this. I do remember this. And he just pitched in the World Series. He pitched pretty well in the World Series. Are they going to bring him
versatility?
Is he a guy who would come in as a starter?
Yes.
Okay, so he's a starter still.
Yes,
he was only in the bullpen because it was the playoffs.
100%.
When I saw it, though, I was pretty disappointed.
But he shows that he can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to a playoff situation, you need to add some arms. He's a guy who can flip. I think I kind of showed you my feelings on Monday, kind of in that overtime we talked about in terms of like how this is all going to play out, or how it can play out.
Yeah.
he might be an option that is it's already a position of need.
Mhm.
It might be, you know,
It could be an affordable option.
it could be an affordable option.
See, I keep seeing if he comes in, if they sign him and it keeps Mason Miller as the closer, then I'm fine. Everybody's trying to convert Mason Miller into a starter.
You're seeing that, by the way. You seeing relievers talk about that across the league. I saw the closer who was with the Cardinals. They traded him to the Helsley.
He wants to be a starter.
I saw him entertaining it.
Jordan Hicks already did that thing. It didn't work out well for him. I mean, I don't think Mason Miller. That's a whole conversation for another day.
He seems fine where he's at.
Yes, I agree. But Chris Bassett, those are the types of names I think we're going to be seeing this offseason, which Nick Pivetta is a Chris Bassett name as of last year.
Yeah.
As of last year.
Maybe. I don't know. I still think his ceilings was higher than Bassett's anyway. He just hadn't got there. But maybe you're right. I could be wrong on this.
No,
all right.
No, you're not wrong.
You're going to take us to break because you brought it
Yes, we're going to talk to Ryan Finley of the San Diego Union Tribune. He was, he's been covering SDFC all season long. Big win last night.
Huge
so
win.
We'll talk to him about that on the huge on the other side. Gwynn Chris, 97.3 The Fan.
think it's the two things together are a perfect example of what it means to be an and team. You know, I get it. Yeah, we play good football, but this narrative that the other team is the more blue collar team, harder working team, this is garbage. This club is founded on hard work, intensity, relentless ambition, just like the community. Because there's so many people in San Diego who have to make massive sacrifices and work so hard to live here. And we said we wanted to be a reflection. That's our base. Then the football flows from there. So I think it's just a perfect example of a guy willing to do whatever it takes to keep that ball out of the goal. That ball should go in the net. 99%.
Talk your stuff, Mikey Veras, head coach at SDFC. That's funny. I mean, maybe because I'm not as plugged in, but that seems like a weird narrative. Like
they're not as hardworking.
How does that like reveal itself? Like,
I guess being lazy on the field.
What
They're
about
not lazy.
What about what they did this year is lazy? I mean, maybe it's the style of play, but I don't know, man. Very impressed with the young kid at the back line, Dewey, I think it is.
Who stopped that goal?
No, the hold on, let me pull it up. Don't you worry.
I mean, I've heard more and more from Mikey Veras all season long, and
I was
he's
impressed with him
coach.
when we had him on early.
He's a great coach.
He just seems like he's the ideal coach.
He gets it.
Yeah. I think I've been impressed with him from the very beginning for a few reasons. I mean, you had the incident early with kind of fans, using language that was offensive. He stepped out in the forefront on that, like early.
Yep.
Then you have a situation. It was kind of quiet for most of the season. Then you had a situation at the end of the year with Chucky Lozano. I've loved the way. I mean, outside of what was reported, this is kind of a structural thing. It kind of, to me, indicates that they got their stuff together, right? That incident goes down. All we know is that there was a incident inside the locker room where Chucky was not happy, and they kind of just left it at that. There was nothing leaked out. We don't know if it was with the head coach Mikey Veras. Mikey Morris. We don't know if it was whatever. We don't know the details of it.
Yeah.
But we do know Chucky Lozano eventually apologized and wasn't just kind of given the starting position back. He's kind of had to seemingly earn his way back into that. And I just think it speaks a lot. That's your star player. That's the dude who's making the most money on his team.
Yeah.
And to be able to send the message. I mean, look, Chucky's done everything he's supposed to do after the incident. I mean, he's been the type of teammate that I think they would hope for, but I think he's done a lot of impressive things here in year one with this SDFC team.
Me too. And it's always nice not being the team that has all of their dirty laundry all over social media, because it seems like some teams find themselves there a lot. But you're right. That just shows you how locked down they are and buttoned up as an organization, because we didn't hear anything.
Nothing.
No peeps.
November 29th. SDFC will take on Vancouver, 6:00 game here at Snapdragon. So get yourselves ready. We will have Ryan Finley here join us shortly. Talk a little bit more. I hope he was at the game. Be able to kind of give us a little insight.
I mean, he's the. I would assume.
Oh, I'm coming up on this young man's name.
I'm gonna call Ryan.
Manu Dua, number 26. He was all over the field yesterday. He was very, very impressive defensively. So get a chance to pick Ryan Finley's brain here shortly. Talk a little bit about this SDFC game. All guests on the 97.3 The Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's bring on Ryan Finley joining us here from the San Diego Union Tribune. Ryan, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for giving us some of your time today. I mean, SDFC did not disappoint. There's a nervous energy, as you probably know, here in San Diego about, our teams getting to the postseason and not quite living up to the expectation. SDFC has done that, and some terrific win yesterday. Just looked like that place was electric once again.
Yeah, it's been great. It's funny. Soccer's so stressful, right? And especially when it's a scoreless game for, almost 3/4 of the game, I think your mind starts to wander to like, oh, geez, are they going to blow this? Is something bad going to happen? And then San Diego FC, like it has throughout this playoff series, scores at the opportune time. Their defense was solid. Anders Dreyer is just developing into a star before our eyes here. Just a huge goal. He seems to show up in all of the big moments for them. Just a great performance by him, and a great performance by SDFC last night on, I think, a really sandy field, a not great conditions, and a really stressful situation, playing a tricky Minnesota United team. So yeah, huge game for them, huge win.
Talking to Ryan Finley here of the San Diego Union Tribune, and we were just talking about Mikey Veras and how well he's done this year and how perfect he is for the city of San Diego. And he's dealt with a lot of stuff this year. He dealt with the chance earlier in the year. He had this Chucky Lozano situation recently. How does this come from the top down, or is this a Mikey Veras thing and it's just infectious?
I think it does come from the top down. That said, I think Mikey Veras is kind of the perfect spokesman for what they're trying to do. I'm out there at practices all the time talking to him. He's just such a different guy.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a total compliment. In a place like San Diego, he's a great fit here. A very eloquent, great communicator, can talk about very esoteric things and then very specific things. And you totally understand what he's talking about. And he does it in 2 languages, guys.
Yeah.
I can barely speak one. He speaks 2. And, what he is able to convey, and I know the word culture gets beaten to death when we talk about sports, but the culture that he's been able to build there of openness, of acceptance, of accountability, right? I mean, this Chucky Lozano thing, that was really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, to square off essentially against your highest paid player, over a tantrum he reportedly threw at halftime. That's not necessarily an easy task to take on if you're a head coach, and yet he's done it. He's great. He should be Major League Soccer's Coach of the Year. He's been fantastic, and if they can win 2 more matches, guys, he would go down in San Diego sports history as the coach of the first team to win a major sports championship in San Diego.
You're starting to be able to kind of to feel that. Like, I think we brought it. I think I actually had this conversation with Joe Musgrove at the first game of the playoffs, and it was like, man, they could actually be the first ones to actually pull this off. And here we are, 2 wins away, as you said, Ryan. Let me ask you about the performance of the team. And I was just talking about Manu Dua. He played a terrific game, really covering both sides of the field. He seemed to be one of the last 2 defenders every single time Minnesota had an opportunity. I mean, this is a young player that looks like they're going to be able to build around along with a few of the other young players they have.
Yeah, he's a guy who a year ago was playing at UC Santa Barbara, right? They made him the number 1 pick in the MLS Super Draft, which means almost nothing, right? The number 1 picks in the Super Drafts don't exactly jump right into the starting lineup. They bring him here. They change his position, guys. And it took, a month, 6 weeks or so before they got super comfortable putting him out there. And he's just been fantastic. And Tony, you know this, especially on a championship team, you need guys to have career years.
Yeah.
You need guys to overplay their salaries, right? You need great value from some of your players. And if you look at, San Diego FC, maybe it's not surprising that Anders Dreyer and Chucky Lozano are kind of their 2, big scorers. They're the guys who make all the money on the team, right? But then you look at Amal Pellegrino, who was acquired at their trade deadline and has been just amazing in sort of starting in Chucky Lozano's old position. He's been great. You look at the goalkeepers. Not enough's been said about Pablo Cifniega, a guy who sat for most of this season, then had to enter in the middle of game 2 of their first round when CJ Dos Santos got hurt, and he's been really good. There are all these guys. Ian Pilcher, last night. A player, maybe not your average San Diegan can name. Ian Pilcher has a sliding stop of a sure goal to keep, San Diego in the game. And, San Diego's down 1-0. You guys watch enough soccer.
Mm-hmm.
If you're down 1-0, that's when you start to think about all the great San Diego sports teams that couldn't pull it off, right? Keeping that score tied 0-0 and keeping San Diego in it and the momentum and the crowd on their side. Just, you can't say enough about how well those guys have played.
Talking to Ryan Finley of the San Diego Union Tribune about SDFC. And I want to talk about the San Diego sports curse, because going to the championship game in their first year and winning seemed like it wasn't ever going to happen before the season started. Now that we're here, it could happen. I don't want people to get mad at this team if they get to the championship and they lose that game. Like, where are we at with that sort of San Diego sports curse? Because I think it's pretty incredible that the team is in the championship game, in this hypothetical version of mine.
Yes, in a way, the game is over and they've already won, right? By being the first expansion team in MLS history to do so many of the things that they've done, the most wins, the most points, to be the number 1 seed in the Western Conference Final, or in the Western Conference, and now headed to the Western Conference Final. This season is an unqualified success for these guys, and they are the story of the year in San Diego sports. Full stop. Right now in 2025. If they don't win another game, they're the story of the year in San Diego sports.
I think
that said, until somebody wins that championship, I think San Diego's going to look at talented teams like this and go, okay, but can you win the big one?
Right.
And it's unfair to them. I get it, but it's an opportunity for them too. I mean, for this club, they are 2 wins away from doing something that 60 years of San Diego professional sports teams have been unable to do. What a way to write their name in sort of San Diego's record books than by pulling that off.
Yeah. As you said, 2 wins away. I want to talk a little bit about that matchup yesterday, because you brought up a great point. If that goal is not, that ball is not stopped from going in the goal there, they're down 1-0. And you could sense, at least it seemed like at one point, the frustration, because all Minnesota was doing was just packing it in. They had everybody back there. And you can see if that goal gets in, how that becomes much harder. But what a great assist from Baird to kind of keep that ball in play, sets up Dreyer for a perfect shot. I mean, that's the I guess the one opening that they really had all game. Other than that, they didn't have a ton of opportunity.
I know. It's so funny. I was trying to talk to somebody about this yesterday. Is it like playing kind of the old Syracuse matchup zone defense, right? Where the other guy just packs it in, and it's just so frustrating, right? Because you can't really shoot over it, and you don't really want to drive into it. I could see the frustration building there too. And then you look at that pass by Baird, and Baird is another one of those guys, right? It's been Anders Dreyer's the hero every night, but there's almost always somebody else there too. And, he's a San Diego native, Baird. He was acquired mid-season. This was not a guy who was in their long-term plans at the start of the season, not a guy whose jersey you see out in the community necessarily. He has this great pass to set up this just season-defining goal by Anders Dreyer. This is what championship teams do. They find a way. And I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but they've shown enough, I think, in their last 2 matches, right? The 2 knockout game, or I'm sorry, the Portland match, game 3, and then in this knockout game, I think they've shown enough here, to show me they can play with anybody in this league. And now, they just need 2 more wins.
Talking to Ryan Finley here of the San Diego Union Tribune, easy for me to say. And we talked a little bit about it earlier. I know there's not much that can be done about the field and how it looked last night and everything like that. But I'm seeing people saying that they need to move out of Snapdragon already. Do you think Snapdragon is the right place for them?
Yes, I think it is. I think that look, they will figure this out. Snapdragon had field issues long before San Diego FC showed up. This is something that can be fixed. Obviously I'm looking ahead to what could be 2 weekends from now, where the Aztecs could be hosting a Mountain West title game and SDFC could be hosting an MLS Cup game.
Yes.
And so what's going to happen there? We're working on something today that'll be in tomorrow's paper, laying out a couple of their different options there. But, this is, Snapdragon is, I think, a perfect place for them. It's a fantastic soccer facility. I know it was built for football, but certainly they built it with an MLS team in mind. The sightlines are amazing. The atmosphere is great. People have proven from throughout San Diego that they're willing to drive to Mission Valley just like they used to for the Padres and Chargers. You can't beat the location. It's central. It's great. They just need to be able to grow grass. And at some point, somebody smarter than me is going to explain to me why we can't grow grass in San Diego. I don't understand that.
Levi Stadium, when they built it, where the 49ers played, they had a really hard time with the grass because it wouldn't attach to the ground.
I was going to say a lot of times when, a new stadium comes up, it does take some time. I mean, even in a place like San Diego, to get the right mix so that it can deal with the type of traffic that it has on it every year. I think that's the other thing that's unique about the stadium. They got a lot of stuff going on that field throughout the course.
No, they do. You're right. You talk about the wave, and then you talk about, there's concerts. There's, until just last season, there was rugby. There's all sorts of stuff going on over there. Is it a great fit for them? I think that it's one of the best 2 or 3 facilities in Major League Soccer, assuming the field holds up.
Right.
And so I think that the big challenge for San Diego State, who again sort of owns and operates this thing with a management company, I think that the big challenge here is going to be to find a mix that works well for football and football, and
sure.
I'm sure it exists. It's just not in there now.
Right. Last one for me, Ryan, and this is more of an educational question for me. I'm trying to understand Western Conference here, Eastern Conference. If SDFC wins and Miami wins, because I think that's the matchup everybody has kind of got their eyeballs on, at least here in San Diego.
Right.
SDFC would then go to Miami for that final. How does the shield thing work?
The supporter shield?
Yes.
That goes to the team with the best regular season record. So that's over. Philadelphia Union won that. And so
that's most points, right?
Yeah, that's most points, regular season, most points.
Okay.
So that's already been awarded to the Philadelphia Union, who were upset in the playoffs just this last weekend. And so, the scenarios here are, if Miami wins and San Diego wins, San Diego goes to Miami.
Because they had more points.
Right, more points.
Okay.
Exactly. More points during the regular season. We can talk later about Miami being the site of the Chargers Super Bowl and how sort of fitting it would be, right?
Yeah.
If San Diego won a championship back in Miami, I think that'd be kind of cool. But if, Miami were to lose and San Diego were to win, all of a sudden you've got an MLS Cup match at Snapdragon Stadium.
Wow.
And what a moment that would be. What an unexpected big game for San Diego that would be. So,
and did you say
I'm sure
that
people will be scoreboard watching.
I'm sorry. Did you say that they might run into an Aztec football game, or?
Well, they could, right? I mean, looking at the schedule, if the Aztecs were to host the Mountain West Championship game,
it's very possible.
Which very possible, right? It starts by winning on Friday if you're San Diego State. If they were to host that, and then there's the MLS Cup match, then you start looking. And again, they will have some options. There will be some different scenarios laid out there. Nobody's going to move to Carson for a week or anything like that. I think there's a way to make all this happen. But there's going to be some scenarios. Now, again, what are the odds of, to me, the least likely scenario that we just laid out is Miami losing at home.
Yeah.
Right. If all the favorites just win out this weekend, then San Diego goes to Miami and the Aztecs play the Mountain West Championship game at Snapdragon. But, there are some contingencies in there. If there are a couple of upsets that could, force San Diego State to make a really interesting call with, when does soccer play, when does football play, and where.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That would be interesting. Listen, I'm here for it all.
Yeah,
as long as you get an SDFC San Diego State final game, I think everybody will be happy no matter where it is. Ryan, we certainly appreciate your time, man. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, anytime, guys. Thank you.
Ryan Finley, San Diego Union Tribune. Remember, all guests on the 97.3 The Fan hotline. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
Love that guy, David P.
Yeah.
David P.
Yeah. Love that guy.
Love that guy.
As Chris would say.
No, that's I was thinking about that whole thing with the Aztecs and the MLS Cup coming to town. That would be crazy because I have a feeling that the MLS Cup holds a little bit more weight than the Mountain West Championship.
I don't know. San Diego State is a owner of that You know,
They are.
I think
They are, but
they're gonna have a say.
the MLS Cup is going to be on, or the championship is going to be on Fox.
I think the other thing is the field. I think as they get this ground crew gets more experience and they'll figure it out. I don't think it's a fix that typically happens fast, but
no, the 49ers, I'm telling you, it took them 3 years to figure it out.
And so, you kind of do the best they can until that point comes. All right, let's get to the break. Daily Gambit coming up next. LSU. I feel like they're being kind of slimy in this, and we'll get into it. And I'm talking about the whole Brian Kelly thing.
Oh, you think?
I think they're being quite slimy. We'll talk about that. This NBA thing, man. This gambling thing that has popped off. Our Athletic coming with an article today that kind of links it all back to one mafia family.
It's crazy.
It's a web. It's all kinds of craziness. We'll get into some of that here in the next hour. More Gwynn and Chris.
There's
Tony, you
much
care
more.
to,
Tony, I don't know where
does
Tony
Tony-
went.
because Tony
I see the
normally-
corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh,
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
hope he didn't. Yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower or
Well, I hope he
something?
didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City. So.
He's in New York City. It could be, you never know.
All right, we'll just go forward.
We're just going to go forward without Tony. I'm sure he'll rejoin us when he gets a moment.
Everybody stare at that box in the top right corner because it's just the corner of his room.
I'm going to look now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Oh, someone says maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know.
He's been known to go there, as have all of us, frankly, but him more than most.
Over under, Tony just forgot that he was doing the show.
That's not nice. Yeah, so maybe that's what they're thinking.
You know what just hit me, Chris?
No.
What if Tony went out to get like ice or something and he forgot his room key?
That is something
Very
that
well
he
possible.
is more than capable of doing.
Because he would never be gone this late, this long, with knowing that he was on the show.
No kidding, man. We took a commercial break like 5 minutes ago, and he has not returned.
I'm going to text him.
Like, are you out in the hall trying to get into your room
Say,
right now?
Everything okay?
Oh, no. This
Question
is
mark.
scaring me. No. Did you hear back from Tony yet?
No, I'm thinking
Something.
he locked himself out. He doesn't have his phone because it's in the room, so he's down at the front desk or something. I
don't know. I'm sure there's a story in here somewhere.
There's
when we
definitely
get him
got to
back on
be
the
a
air.
story. Anyway. I was very concerned about Tony, and I took him off the screen because he's not back. I guarantee you he got locked out of his room.
I don't think you're wrong, because that makes sense. But how far away is the lobby? Of course, the New York hotel, it could be one of those ones where you got to wait a while to get up to the...
And he's just sitting in line. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is.
Well, it's funny
to me.
it's funny if he comes back with a funny story.
Yeah, like
It's
I locked
not
myself
funny.
out.
It's not funny if he fell and hit his head somewhere
Well,
and we don't know where he is.
Of course,
That's not funny.
Of course, that's not funny.
He's obviously not with his phone because he hasn't gotten back to us.
Has Tony locked himself out before? Not during the show, but I'm sure he has at one point in his life.
Of all people, Tony would certainly seem to be one who would do it.
Oh, August also says, Clinton said, got to use the key card for the elevator too. So maybe he's just stuck.
Can't
in
even get down? No, you don't need the key card to go down.
Okay.
You only need those to go up. You should be able to get down to the lobby to say, hey, I locked myself out. In New York City. But if we do, can you go to the Padre Hotel and knock on Tony's door? We don't know where he is still.
No.
Still hasn't come back.
And I turned on
It's been 20 minutes now.
I know. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
What
What happened?
I don't know. I
We
would
don't
call
know-
the front desk of the hotel, but I have no idea where they're staying.
I don't know where they're staying either. And when you sent him a text and said, is everything all right? We have not heard back from him. He is still not back in his room.
I bet you he is standing in line in the lobby as we speak.
Trying to get his key back. or
Someone
A-key.
said text Jesse or Dave, and
It's really not a bad idea. Maybe at the next break, though.
Yes.
If we get to the next break, we got to text those guys so that they can go make sure he's okay. Because I don't know where he is. It's crazy.
Dave Marcus is probably the one to text
We'll text Dave.
because he's I mean, Jesse could be doing anything, but Dave's always there, ready to go.
You're trying to say Dave has a ho-hum life and he'd just
Well,
be sitting around
he's-
waiting for a text, whereas Jesse might be busy. Is that what
Well,
you're...
I mean, Dave's been doing this job for like 30 years. I don't
see.
think the what is the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
All right. Well, there's certainly an explanation, but we don't have it yet.
Text Scan. I don't know Scan well enough to text him.
We're going to text Dave if this gets to the top of the hour, and we still don't have a Tony Gwynn Jr. sighting. All right,
Yeah,
do we
well-
just go to traffic like it's normal behavior time? I mean, it just seems
We got
weird.
to. We got to move on with the show.
Show must go on?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the really, really weird and ugly next here after traffic. All right, it's with less enthusiasm than usual that we embark on the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 2, Skrabe.
I'm going to try not to worry too much.
I'm going to try not to worry also. I'm not necessarily the worrying type,
I'm not either.
but, I'm intrigued now at this point. Like it's with this long pass to Devontae Smith.
He's back.
Helped put him there.
Hold on. He's back,
Oh, wait,
everybody.
stop everything.
Two on this Tuesday afternoon, last show of the week for Gwynn and Chris. Of course, I believe the last show on the station is tomorrow. I believe that is Braden, huh?
Yes, Braden and Frank putting in the hard work.
God bless him.
I've made that mistake before. Working the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. No, I'm just kidding.
I think we all have at some point.
No, it's good for that. It's good. It's good for them to be on because we need some
You
sort of
ain't
live
got
programming.
to lie, Craig.
All right, fine. I have made that mistake before. I think one of the most nerve-wracking shows we've ever done was a show the day before Thanksgiving.
100%.
Like that was
100%.
bad.
Like
That was
there was
bad.
just like zero to talk about.
Zero.
Nothing.
It's crazy because we're in the middle of sports season. We got zero to talk about.
Like everybody shuts down. Like I bet no one's doing it. No one wants to come on.
Yeah, no one wants to come on.
So God bless Braden, man, and Frank. They're gonna hold it down for y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, good for that.
We do have some bets at some point. We'll probably do some Thanksgiving games. Who are the Thanksgiving?
Oh, we got some
Obviously-
good ones.
Who are the NFL teams? Obviously, we know Cowboys, Detroit. Who are their opponents?
KC at the Cowboys, so Chiefs at Cowboys. The first game of the day is Packers at Lions, which is
That's a good
great
one.
divisional game right
Good
there.
one. It's been a while. No, that's not true. Actually, it feels like it's been a while. Maybe it hasn't.
Well, last year
When the games have been like
good.
Last
Year was the day that Matt Eberflus got fired because it was Thanksgiving and he wasted the clock in
That's
front of
right.
the entire country.
That's right.
But then we have
But that was an underachieving team versus a bad team.
totally.
And then the Detroit game, who was in that one?
that was against Detroit, the Bears and the
Bears and who
Lions.
did Cowboys play then that day?
Oof.
So that was the disappointing versus. So that was a bad team versus good team, the Detroit Bears, and then whoever Cowboys had.
I
last
mean,
year,
like it or not,
disappointing versus somebody.
like it or not, and I did not like.
I think they got blitzed on there.
I'm quietly pulling it up, but I guess it's not quiet if I can. People can hear the.
What were you
keyboard.
getting ready to say though before I cut you off?
I don't know. Dang it.
You sound like me.
Oh, Dallas, like it or not, has a chance at the playoffs.
They do.
They're 5-5-1.
They do.
Here it
Oh,
is.
my
They
cow.
played the Giants last year. I remember this now, and they won 27-20. So it was a decent game.
But both of those teams suck.
Yeah, it wasn't.
They weren't. Neither of them really good.
Yeah.
So it's good we get a good game.
The final game
couple good games.
is interesting for a couple reasons. Bengals at Ravens.
Joe Burrow might be back on
Joe Burrow might be back.
at Bengals at where?
Ravens.
Oh yeah.
So the Ravens have won 5 in a row. They're looking to get
They
back in the
haven't.
playoffs.
They've won every game since what's name's return.
Yeah, but he's not doing anything in fantasy football wise.
Well, yeah. I mean, but that's not the thing. The thing is winning.
I know, but
It's like the Jalen Hurts whole deal. Like everybody mad at Jalen Hurts and they're
well, he's boring.
8-2, right?
He's boring.
Apparently so.
I
Boring's
think
not.
they're 8-3 now.
Oh, that's right. They lost to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
No bueno.
No bueno is right.
How many games we got?
How many games?
How many games we betting on today?
3.
Fake betting on. All right, so I got a little time then before we go.
Sure,
into this.
yes.
No, you know what? I'll wait. Let's do the games.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo!
If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. We mean that. We really do. First bet, though, that we're going to make here today, Tony, it's going to be on the Chiefs and the Cowboys. Over under 52.5 total points in this game. That's a lot of points.
52.5.
That's 33
What
to
game is it?
20. The Chiefs at the Cowboys.
Yeah, no, shit. Cowboys, they can give us some points now. And they can also put some points up. So, yeah, I'm going to take the over on this one.
I got to know if Patrick Mahomes is for real.
What? If you don't knock it off,
I
dude.
know, that was a ridiculous statement.
You had to catch yourself on that
I mean,
one.
I did. Their offense has not been great. But the Dallas Cowboys defense can give up a ton of yards. I'm going to go over
They
as
looked
well.
pretty good last week.
Yeah, they did. I'll give you that. Packers at the Lions. Lions are favored by 2.5 points.
This is the one that you don't know what you're getting out of the Packers.
That's true.
For sure. Give me the Lions. Lions at home?
Lions at home.
Give me the Lions.
I have a feeling you're right, Lions. All right, Jahmyr Gibbs, over under 120 rushing and receiving yards combined.
This is a tricky one because he just had a monster game. But I just feel like typically you have a monster, you might not have that type of game. However, this is running and receiving yards for 120, correct?
Yes.
I'll take the over.
You take the over, huh? I was thinking along the same lines as you. Like, there's no way they're going to let Jahmyr Gibbs run wild.
He won't run for 120, 121, but I think he can get up over there with some receiving
For my
yards.
fantasy football team, over. Then we go to the Bengals at the Ravens. At the Ravens are favored by 7 points. I'll go first. I'm going to go with the Ravens at home. Tony?
I think the Bengals have an interesting question here. They suck,
Yes, they do.
but their quarterback is healthy again,
Yes, he is.
and I'm sure he wants to play. Do you allow him to play or not?
Yes.
I do. I think so too.
Joe Flacco's falling apart.
Give me the wait. You got the Bengals down there for me, man. I didn't say
I
Bengals.
thought that's where you were going,
no,
to be honest.
I went the Ravens.
Okay. I thought you were going Bengals.
No, thank you.
All right, Joe Burrow's first game back. Over under 260 passing yards, Tony.
Ravens defense hasn't been that great this year.
No, it has not. But it's been better.
It's been better. I'm gonna say 260 is a lot. I'm gonna say under 260.
I should also say T. Higgins is not going to be playing on Thursday night due to concussion. So I'm going to go. Hey, you know what? I'm going to go over. He's just going to chuck the ball at Jamar Chase a million times. Okay, Lamar Jackson over under 30 yards rushing. I'll go first, and I'm going to say under because the guy doesn't run the ball anymore. So, Tony, over under 30 yards rushing for Lamar Jackson.
Over.
Yeah, you say that.
You know what? Under. He's got the hamstring issue. Under.
And now he's got a toe issue, Tony.
Yeah, under.
Mahomes, we got two more. Mahomes, passing yards -10, or Dak Prescott. Who would have more? I'm going to go with Dak.
Ooh. I'm going, ooh, Pat Mahomes boy.
Mahomes boy.
This game is in Dallas?
It's in Dallas.
Oh, he's going back home. He's about to show out. You tripping.
Is he from Dallas?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know he was from Dallas.
I mean, that's where he grew up.
Okay. I'm still going with Dak Prescott.
That's because you're Patrick Mahomes hater, so it's fine.
I will say, His family has been nowhere to be found in the last
listen
year
to
and a
you.
half.
His family has nothing to do with anything.
Well,
He
it did
plays-
for a while
No,
there. The
you-
TikTok dances
to
on the
you-
field.
To
and,
you.
And his mom, and his dad, and
What's wrong with
everything.
TikTok dancing? Juju Schuster used to do.
He's a player, though.
Okay.
The little brother Mahomes is not a player.
If you had access to your brother's
I wouldn't do that.
field, you would. Well, you wouldn't because you're scary. So go ahead.
I'm scary.
Yes.
All right. Oregon against the Aztecs tonight in basketball. Oregon -2.5 on the point spread. Tony.
We got to have a bounce back today. So I'm saying we cover. Man, Oregon's favored?
Yeah.
I wonder did that shift from
That's
last
a good
night to
question. It had to have. A 40-point drubbing will change things. I'm going to have to go Aztecs. I just want to see it happen. So I want to see them win tonight. That's it for the bets.
All right. We'll reconvene next Monday. Let you guys know how we did. Hopefully we can.
I give you a little bit of a hint. Probably not good because we're betting.
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna get to break. When we come back, we're gonna talk a little bit about this LSU situation. LSU and Brian, I gotta stop saying it, but the Brian Kelly situation. Remember, LSU fired Brian Kelly, and it seemed to be like there was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was performance based on what they did on the football field. It didn't reach the level that I think it was the governor?
Yes, governor.
Governor.
Can't even remember his name.
Can't remember
now.
his name either. I just remember his very
twang.
southern twang, Louisiana twang. But they're playing some shady game.
This is what happens when
This is
government overreach, Tony.
This is like the equivalent of someone making a bet and then not wanting to pay up. It's clear they lost a bet.
Yes,
and
that's
they just
a great
and
analogy.
they're just coming up with weird things to say they don't have to pay.
They're coming up. Yes, that's a great way to say it.
We're gonna get into it on the other side. More Gwynn and Chris. Here's no traffic.
Traffic will be later.
Traffic
in
a
the,
little bit.
in the break. Yes.
The appetite.
All right, so here's what happened. I was at the corner, and I'm going to call out the streets because who cares? It was Claremont Mesa Drive and Ruffin Road, which is pretty close to our radio station here.
Yeah.
I had to run over and pick up a little cash from the bank. That was simple, trip before I came into work. And I'm on Ruffin Road, coming up to Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Ruffin Road can be a little rough sometimes.
Well, they could pave that. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt if they should. They can't call it paved road. I know that.
Wait, your issue isn't the potholes in the road?
No, that was I'm used to that. So we come up on Claremont Mesa, and we're at the stoplight. I'm in the left-hand turn lane to turn left on Claremont Mesa. I'm the third car back. And there's a 2 left turn lanes. There's 3 cars in line here. And then the going straight is also red. And that is backed up each of the lanes. So that I've got cars on my right. I've got cars on my left. I got 2 in front of me. I got people behind me. No big deal. Light cycles through. And our turn doesn't come.
Oh, no.
So the cross traffic gets to go again. And then the people coming across in our direction, they get to go again. And then for a second time, they skip our turn. Well, that's what I thought. So now...
Actually, you're not going anywhere. You're stuck.
Right, you're stuck.
You're not going anywhere.
And my first thought, of course, as a good scout or, athlete, is to look around. Is there any way out? Can I back up? Can I, I'll do anything. But there is nowhere for me to go.
No.
It happens a third time.
Whoa.
And I'm pretty clear at this point, this light's broken. And I'm starting to think, how are we going to get out of this? Am I going to have to call, the police to come and fix it? No one's going to know it's broken.
911 emergency response.
Yeah.
Where's your emergency? Ruffin Road in Claremont. The light is stuck.
The light is stuck. And so this is 5 minutes probably, but you can imagine 5 minutes.
No,
that's a long
That's a
time,
long
right?
time.
Well, when it comes to the 4th time, I finally start just leaning on my horn.
Oh.
I'm trying to get...
What are the people in front of you going to do?
Well, because there was a moment, right, after the traffic comes this way,
It paused.
You want them to run the light?
You could at least a couple people could run the light. We could get this going here.
You want them to run the light?
I did.
Break the law.
Well, they had to. Otherwise, we'd still be there. Anyway, so this is going on. So I'm starting leaning on my horn. The lady next to me looks at me like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Good for her. Good for her.
And good for her.
Kidding.
I'm like,
I'm just
ma'am,
kidding.
are you just clueless? Were you going to sit here the rest of your life?
She has faith that the light's going to turn eventually.
Evidently so. If it had gone again, the guy next to me on this side rolled down his passenger window. That starts to go down. I think he's going to be mad. And he's like, what? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the light's broken. Like, how do you not know this? We've all been sitting here for 6-7 minutes now. The two cars at the very front of the left turn lane are not budging. So they apparently are content to sit there for as long as it need be.
They also have faith that the light is going to turn.
But I have no faith.
What gives them that faith?
Yeah, but what gave them the faith? I mean, it had cycled through 4 times now. The 5th time, I was going to just have to get out of my car and walk up to that and go, will you please do something? Or get, and if you don't, and I would have,
something.
You know what I would have said? If you don't want to run the light, just get out of my way so I can run the light. I'm not sitting here the rest of the day. And finally, on the 5th time, the first 2 people ran the light, and the next person was able to get you know what I mean? And after a couple more cycles through, I got out of there. But I don't know.
Did the light ever start working?
I don't know. If you're at Claremont Mason Ruffin Road, you might still be there. I don't know. This was 45 minutes ago or so.
Wow.
So my question to you is, how differently would you have handled this than I did? And I'll start with you, Tony. Would there have been any difference, or do you know?
I don't know if I would have laid on my horn.
You would have just never laid on it.
I think I might have maybe rolled down the window, see if I could talk to somebody, see what else.
See if anybody else was in on it?
I don't think I would have laid on my horn because, listen, what you're asking is for them to, which may not be easy for everybody, and that is the timing between when because they're waiting for their light to turn.
Yes,
right?
they were waiting for
the light's not going to turn. But that also then requires them to guess the exact kind of when the timing of when they can go. And
yeah, well, you know what? Figure it out.
I think a lot of people wouldn't be comfortable with
running the light,
with
even
running
under
the light.
these circumstances. Well, I think
not when there's other cars that could actually hit them.
Okay, I think you are right. And the reason I think you're right is because of the 40 to 50 cars that were now piled up in my area behind me and around me. I was the only one honking.
Right, and then
nobody else thought to do this. All right, so here's what happened. I was at the corner, and I'm going to call out the streets because who cares? It was Claremont Mesa Drive and Ruffin Road, which is pretty close to our radio station here.
Yep.
I had to run over and pick up a little cash from the bank. That was simple, trip before I came into work. And I'm on Ruffin Road, coming up to Claremont Mesa Boulevard.
Ruffin Road can be a little rough sometimes.
Well, they could pave that. It wouldn't hurt. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. They can't call it paved road. I know that.
Wait, your issue isn't the potholes in the road?
No, that was I'm used to that. So we come up on Claremont Mesa, and we're at the stoplight. I'm in the left-hand turn lane to turn left on Claremont Mesa. I'm the 3rd car back. And there's 2 left turn lanes. There's 3 cars in line here. And then the going straight is also red. And that is backed up each of the lanes. So that I've got cars on my right.
On the clock, Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Skraby. With you till 6 o'clock as we head into the Thanksgiving week. Last show for Gwynn and Chris of the week will return Monday. All 3 of us intact, I hope. At that point.
That means Chris didn't get home from the Bahamas.
Right. Typically. I'm sure he wants to stay as long as possible, but
he was itching to get back.
You're probably right.
He missed his dog, okay?
Skraby. Chris is not a gentleman that wants to be away too long.
Yeah, he did seem like he was having a very fun time, though. He went on the water slides. He went out to dinner. He ate a potato salad sandwich yesterday. Or he told us about the story that he ate the potato salad sandwich.
So let's get into this LSU story, because oftentimes on this show specifically, Brian Kelly is catching strays. A lot of it is warranted, sometimes, especially Chris, he can take some people's heads off at
Yesterday, he went nuts about Lane Kiffin in our overtime
Yes.
episode out of nowhere. Nowhere.
Was that the part that ended up getting cut out?
Thankfully, yes. So you need to go watch this
That's
video.
the clip, you guys. So he's going off about Lane Kiffin.
He's like emphatic about it too.
And we hear nothing of what he says. You hear nothing of what he says, but you can tell he is serious about it.
He literally made the best point of his life that no one heard. And then I love the responses on social media to it. Best point he's ever made. Which he couldn't hear anything.
But LSU is doing some I don't know. When I read the article that came out in ESPN today, it seems quite shady. So according to the letter which ESPN obtained, it was sent November 18th. And it's sent to athletic director Verge Osbury. Now, Brian Kelly and his attorneys are claiming that LSU is preventing Kelly from having job opportunities like we saw from my man at Penn State, James Franklin, that headed to he is now a Virginia Tech Hokie. But his attorneys are claiming that Brian Kelly is basically being stopped from being able to participate in a job search. According to the letter, says that Kelly and his attorney reserve all rights to seek any and all damages to the fullest extent permitted by law for the interference in any potential job candidacy. Now, what LSU has done has made the claim that they are not firing him, that they're firing him for cause. And that then affects the huge buyout that they were, that the governor was really irritated with in the first place. And that also cost at the time, the former athletic director.
I don't feel bad for him in any of it.
Got fired because he did it twice.
Yes.
He gave it up at Texas A&M.
Yeah, Jimbo Fisher got $100 million.
Yeah. And so he got fired, and you could easily make the case that was warranted. But what LSU has done, I think, is quite diabolical. LSU Board of Supervisors voted Friday to allow new school president Wade Rouse to formally terminate Kelly. Now, they basically have been holding Kelly up by saying, we're firing you for cause. Now, even as this vote has taken place, the board did not indicate whether they're firing him for cause or without cause. So he continues to kind of just float in the air and not be right. And so in November, according to the legal filing by Kelly, the school informed Kelly's representative that then athletic director Scott Woodward, that's the guy we were just talking about, did not have the authority to dismiss Kelly. Mind you, LSU wanted to dismiss Kelly.
Yes.
So they're playing reindeer games.
I believe the governor, and it wasn't a press conference for this, but he answered questions
he
about.
He literally said Donald Trump was going to pick
go
the
find
next
this clip again,
or the next coach.
Yeah.
He said so. Did not have the authority to dismiss Kelly. The school then stated it had reason to fire Kelly for cause, which would impact the payout of his contract, which would be about $54 million. In response, Kelly filed a petition of declaratory judgment in the 19th Judicial District of the parish of East Baton Rouge. Asking for a judge to assert that Kelly was fired October 26th without cause. In a separate letter, this one dated November 19th and obtained by ESPN, Kelly's attorney says that Carmouchi, I don't know if I'm saying that name right, told them that Carmouchi had expressed his hope they'd agree to send written confirmation of Kelly's firing without cause, but only after meeting with a board member and Rouse. So Rouse is the guy, is the person that is now heading the athletic directing position. They're waiting on him to basically say, all right, we're not firing you for cause, we're firing you without cause. But it seems like intentionally dragging their feet, probably because they are trying to find a way out of this $54 million that Mr. Woodward has left them on the hook for.
Yeah.
And I think it's quite sleazy.
I'm not sure why this is so nasty, and I think it's because the governor got involved.
I think the governor got involved, but it's like I said, it's like the friend, or I don't even know if you call him a friend, the person you make a bet with that loses the bet fair and square, and now they don't want to pay.
Here's the governor, Jeff Landry is his name, talking about why Scott Woodward will not select the coach.
We are not going down a failed path. And I wanted to tell you something. This is a pattern. The guy that's here now that wrote that contract cost Texas A&M $70-something million. Right now, we got a $53 million liability. We are not doing that again. And you know what? I believe that we're going to find a great coach. I mean, maybe we'll let President Trump pick it. He loves winners. You know, I'm not going to be picking the next coach. But I can promise you, we're going to pick a coach.
So he's talking about replacements.
The hilarious part is he said that guy that wrote the contract as if he has no idea who the athletic director of LSU is.
Yeah, that's a good catch.
That guy that wrote the contract also, it's like, you know who it is.
I do love his accent so much.
Cold right there.
So good.
But nonetheless, I just think LSU's playing they're playing a sleazy game here.
They are.
I'm not a fan of Brian Kelly, but fair is fair. This is, you signed up, you fired him because he didn't do the job. The consequence of firing him before his contract is up is that you got to pay $54 million.
Yes, that's the thing. And I don't know if he had this, like James Franklin had a clause in his contract that if he got a new job, that his buyout would go to like $9 million.
And maybe that's at the crux. Maybe that's at the crux of this, is that
because they can't get out of it because
they saw James Franklin was like, cool, but actually not. No, I mean, he's November 19th is 6 days ago.
Yeah, I think that LSU's just crying over spilt milk.
Break bread, LSU.
Yeah, especially, I mean,
you're about to break bread for Lane Kiffin, it sounds like, or somebody new here.
And it doesn't, right? It doesn't even make sense anyway, because the whole thing has been just a circus.
I mean, listen, we're not dumb.
We're not.
We're watching coaches get fired for not winning football games all over the country. And this is the first time, at least out of our knowledge, that a team is trying to weasel their way out of the.
I'm surprised it took this long.
You're right.
I'm surprised it took this long.
You're right. It just, I don't know.
But Brian Kelly, just take a year off, bro.
No. If I'm Brian Kelly, I'm gonna be the squeaky wheel at this point.
Oh, you have to be. Well, he got embarrassed by the governor of the state of Louisiana. They did, and he's not a nice
no
guy.
Hard feelings in at this point. You probably fired the coach in probably the most embarrassing way, because now it leapfrogged just sports, and now it's jumped into politics.
Now
too.
It's politics, and again, Brian Kelly was a state employee. Like, sometimes the football coaches, basketball coaches in states and state schools are the highest paid employees in the state.
Break bread, LSU.
Just, you have the money.
Break.
Just, you don't get it. You have the money.
Yeah. No, this is the whole thing. Just
now, Brian Kelly wasn't a great guy, from what I read.
It doesn't sound like it.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
I think this is the first time a governor has ever fired a football coach.
He basically said it, and within days, it was done.
That's crazy.
So,
I hope Brian Kelly gets his money.
I do too.
But
and then he's going to go to another place and maybe not be as good a coach there.
Now, I'm going to have real big issues with that school, because he's got now like 3 different universities that are like, he's not worth it. That's why we're letting him go. And some other school's going to be like, you know what? On the 5th try, we're going to get him under control.
We've got the answer.
Yeah, we're going to pay him all this money, and he's going to fall in line.
Yeah.
That's not what's going to happen.
Probably right. All right, let's get to break. My Lakers in action tonight, playing some good basketball. Got the Clippers. And guess what? Kawhi Leonard will return tonight, of course, against the Los Angeles Lakers. That's how it always works. All right, let's get to break. On the other side, Beto Duran, pre and post for the Lakers. We'll talk to him next. More Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Wood.
Stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low. Middle tandem student right there. I tried. I wrecked your good job, buddy. Fun, huh? You need help with anything? Okay, I'm nervous. Stand up, stay low. Hands on the heart. Stay low.
On the clock, Beto Duran, Lakers pre and post voice, will join us shortly. Talk a little Laker basketball, who was in action tonight against the Clippers on NBC/Peacock, as the NBA making its return to NBC, and it's been a lot of positive reviews from what I've seen. Skraby,
That's awesome.
You clearly don't know.
I've watched.
Okay.
I like the graphics.
Yeah. That's all you got. Graphics and music.
I think the AI voice guy is very weird.
AI voice guy.
They have the original NBA on NBC voice guy. They have AI of him doing it. You know, the host guy. You don't know what I'm talking about? The older guy who used to voice like, "This is the NBA on NBC." They don't want a new voice.
I don't know why I can only hear Marv Albert's voice for NBC.
Let me go.
I don't think it was him, but that's the only voice I can remember hearing.
No, he definitely. Jim Fagan is his name.
Fagan, okay.
He's going to be featured via AI for the 2025 season. So,
interesting. They got all kinds of nice little features on Peacock. So I would say that's probably going well. We still get our fix of Shaq, Kenny, and Charles on ESPN. We don't get as much sprinkled in there. But it's nice. I think it's been good to hear some new voices, some new takes on the game of basketball.
I think so. Who did you just say who was on the show?
I did not.
Okay.
You're good.
I was listening, and it was one of those stupid YouTube videos where it didn't actually give me the information. It just AI told me the article.
I think Vince Carter is on NBC. I want to say Jalen Rose is also on there. Carmelo is on there, and he's getting dressier and dressier each week.
Really?
He's getting closer. to a full-on suit.
Does he not want to wear a suit?
You could tell it's not his thing.
You would think he would.
He's gone with the nice little jacket, kind of jacket pant
combo,
but not not a suit.
Huh.
He's avoided it at all costs to this point. So,
interesting for a guy who probably looks good in a suit to not want to wear a suit.
Let's check a little traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. You're going to find lots of company on the roads this afternoon, whether folks are leaving town for the holiday weekend, maybe coming to town, or maybe just trying to get home from work. Already several problems here. Palm Avenue off-ramp off South 805, there is a collision, and not good. Right before a holiday weekend, several stalled vehicles. Got one on northbound 5 before La Jolla Village Drive. It's in the center divide, and then a vehicle with a flat tire, North 5 coastline just past Santa Fe Drive. It's in the center divide, and a stall reported on West 78 to the 15. That's over to the right shoulder. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Okay, let's bring on my good friend, Beto Duran. He covers the Lakers pre and post. This guy took care of me when I was a Dodger back in the day. He knew I was a big Laker fan. Yes, I know.
He's also disappointed that Chris is ducking him on every one of these interviews.
Chris wasn't here last time.
No, he wasn't.
Oh,
It's so funny.
Wow, Chris is ducking you, huh, Beto?
Well, I'm hoping I can get a show with you, bro. We've talked about this for years. I mean, Chris doesn't want to show up to work. I'll do it.
I see where we're going with this.
I mean, the conversations we used to have in that ugly Dodger clubhouse, because it was ugly back when you played. You didn't get the good stuff. You had the bad stuff.
I was right on the edge there of the bad stuff.
Yeah, did they have like the mesh lockers for you guys, like where the fencing?
Yes, we did.
It looked like chicken wire.
Yes, we did. I assume it doesn't look like that. Is that what you're saying now? It doesn't look like that anymore?
It is so good right now, Tony, that the members of the media don't even know where your locker is at because there's so many rooms for the players to hide. Like, that's how awesome it is. It's great for the players, bad for us.
Oh, good for them. Beto covers the Lakers pre and post. And Beto, Lakers off to a good start. They've now had 2 games with LeBron. They've won both, although both have been against the Utah Jazz. Is this how we should expect to see? I mean, for the first time in a long time, I think a lot of people thought that this double-digit scoring record may very well come to an end here at 25-26.
Man, let me tell you this. Tony, because I know you understand sports talk radio now that you're like a member of the media and you're no longer the player. And we had this conversation last time, how I would get calls on the post game about, man, they don't need LeBron. He's going to ruin everything. Look, I'm not the biggest LeBron fan, but I do know that when LeBron is on the floor, he's going to make you better.
Right.
Just look at this. He's going to make you better. And I would legit get calls. They don't need LeBron. I'm like, okay, because you want Jackson Hayes to be playing more minutes. Okay, sure, guys. So, like, those are the kind of things that we get, right? And and you know me, I like to troll. So I'm also like, hey, if you don't like LeBron, call me. We're doing that kind of stuff. It's 11 o'clock at night, a post-game show. I'm messing with people. But LeBron is going to be 41 in a couple of weeks. He's going to make your team better because you no longer have to be the one with LeBron where he's doing everything for you. If the game is in crunch time, LeBron's the one with the ball in his hands, well, then, damn it, you're probably going to lose anyways, right? But it's Luka's time, it's Luka's team, and then he makes it better because now if you're playing defense against them, you have to worry about Luka. You have to worry LeBron. This is where it leaves like a guy like Austin Reeves open, leaves Rui Hachimura open, leaves other guys to get their opportunities. Are the Lakers as good as the record indicates? For me, no, because they've had some soft touches. And they also got blown out by bad teams. Yeah. And there's times where they kind of just go through the motions like they did against Utah the other night where they were up by 13. All of a sudden, they're like, lucky that a bucket didn't go in at the buzzer because they're good because they're playing against bad teams. But we're going to see how the next stretch is for them.
I got to ask you because it seemed like LeBron took issue with the thought that this Laker team couldn't thrive with him in it. And it almost seems like in the first 2 games, I don't know if this was always his design, but it almost seems like he's intentionally like, I'm going to show you that I don't need to dominate the ball and we can still be a good enough team.
I wouldn't want to say it's by design, but look, LeBron is one of the most plugged-in athletes to what everybody says about him.
Yeah.
He's got people everywhere listening to everything that's going on. He is in tune. So for him to say, I don't know what you guys are talking about, don't ever believe that. Like, he knows what's going on, right? And that's what most athletes are like that, right? They know things, especially LeBron, who is worried about his legacy and how it's going to go down. If LeBron were to come back to this team and just completely dominate and they lose or whatever it is, you're like, wait a minute, you have Luka and you don't use him the right way. Like, he knows what it is. Like, but I really do believe when you're listening to him at practice, which is different from like at a game, that he understands, hey, I don't have to be the main guy here. I shouldn't be the main guy here. Right. You should not be relying on a 41-year-old to carry you anywhere, right? The other night he played against 6 dudes that weren't born when he went into the NBA.
That's
like,
wild.
That's what's going on, right? That's crazy right there. So he is I'm not saying he's a complimentary player because he's still fantastic to watch and we should appreciate watching him in his last year, but he should not be your main go-to guy, and he understands that. And also JJ Redick is being a red ass about things and letting people know this is your role going to be right now. JJ's putting the foot down.
I certainly enjoy JJ Redick a lot. Beto Duran joins us, covers the Lakers and pre and post game. And Beto, it wouldn't be a Lakers season without a little bit of drama, right? I mean, last week,
oh my God,
last week, the 2 bus kids get shipped out by their sister. Yes, we have to do this. And then, there was some conversation from the young bus. I think, can't remember which one it was that had the conversation with the Athletic, but nonetheless, there's some feelings hurt. I mean, is this more of a Genie thing, or is this more of a Mark Walters thing? Like, I'm taking over this bad boy. I'm gonna need my people in place.
I texted you, right?
Did you? I don't remember. Let me see. Oh, you sure did.
We didn't text about this?
I don't think. No, we did not text about this.
Oh my God, who was I texting about this? Oh my. Okay. I was going to tell you, don't read those texts out loud. This is beautiful. Like, if anybody who ever watched Succession, this is it right here. This is like survival of the fittest, and it's not Mark Walter. It is Jeannie Buss fired her brothers. She's done it before when Jim and Mitch Kupchak were running it, and she fired. Look, you've seen how the Guggenheim team does organizations, right? They buy a team, they move and look what's going on, and they let everybody there take care of business. Guggenheim has been a partner with the Lakers for a few years. They've owned a percentage of the team for a while, but they've always been a silent one. This is Jeannie, who is the governor, and she's going to be here for the next 5 years, they say, right? According to Mark Walter, as long as Jeannie wants to run it, she's going to do it. She's going to be the face of the Lakers, and Guggenheim is just going to give them the money that they need. But you can't keep people around who voted against the new owners. Those 2 brothers who run the South Bay Lakers, and Joey, who does a lot of good stuff with the scouting department, he really wanted to take over the team. This is what, as he thought Dr. Buss would let him do it, right? And his other brother does a lot of the business development. And they voted against selling the team. That's the thing. They did not want to sell the team. They wanted to keep it in business, and eventually they wanted to run it. Well, Jeannie was like, well, you guys voted against us. I'm not going to keep you around. That's all it is. It was a business move from Jeannie on this. And it makes sense because think about it. Whenever a new company comes in, they cut the fat and then they move on and see what's left, right? And that's what they're doing. But why are they going to keep somebody who doesn't want the new ownership and anybody associated with them? Like, so a lot of those scouts that got fired were friends of those Buss kids. And those kids are hustlers. I'm not going to knock them for the basketball acumen because the South Bay
their team. I mean, look at the guys they've been able to help draft over the last couple of years. I mean, Reeves is one of them.
Yeah, so they would be, these kids would, Joey would always be like if there was like a USD Pacific game, he'd probably be at that watching it because you would see him at LMU games. And one of the problems that they had, and you read in the Athletic, was that Pelinka wasn't listening to him. It's not that they needed to be heard, but it's like, hey guys, we have a good track record of it. We're doing it. But this is a tightening of the circle. Jeannie's keeping her circle really tight. So if you've been a friend of Jeannie, you're good. You've been a friend of Rob, you're good. If you're not, you're out. But the brothers were like, hey,
they didn't like Jalen Hood-Schifino, but Rob in that organization did. They really liked Jaime Jaquez and Pajemski, who's at Golden State. But, the Lakers drafting hasn't been well, and a lot of that has to do with Rob, and some of these brothers were like, what are we doing here? And they weren't listening to him. So it was a power struggle, and Jeannie's like, look, bye, and here's your $1 billion that you're about to get. Because each kid is going to get $1 billion when the sale is now that's approved. So, because there's 6 kids, and 66% for the Bus family. So each kid gets $1 billion.
Wow.
Like, all right, cool, fire me, but I'm gonna get $1 billion. But they didn't want the money.
Go.
They wanted to be involved with the Lakers.
Well, that $1 billion is going to leave them a little bit short of being able to buy this team for Mark Walters if they want to do it on their own. Beto Duran.
Every time you look at the Padres.
I mean, they're in the price range. If they can put their monies together and they'd be right there. Beto Duran joins us, handles the Lakers pre and post. Beto, big matchup today. Clippers, Lakers going on tonight. Sounds like Kawhi Leonard will make his return here against the Lakers. Is this one of the first kind of real tests for this squad? I mean, even though the Clippers haven't really played that well, this is a team that a lot of people pick to be one of the Western's favorites.
Nah, it's not a real test because the Clippers are banged up right now, and it sucks because you want to see the best against the best. And I love Kawhi. I love watching him doing. Chris Paul announcing his retirement, but they're not up to par right now. They're not a good team right now. They're bad record. Guys missing, not playing well. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they come and throw everything at them and you have a tight game. Because the Lakers, I said it before, they're not good enough to just run teams out of the building. Like they have lapses where they're not doing well. And if you look at the 3-point shooting, Luka puts up big numbers, and next thing you know, he's like 1 for 12 from 3. Austin Reeves can't hit a 3. Like that's been overshadowed because they've been winning. But it should be a fun game tonight. But it's on NBC. It's a prime game. It's a Peacock game, right?
Yeah.
So it's a 8-12 tip-off, bro. 8-12 is the tip-off tonight. Yes.
That's crazy late. 8-12, huh?
8-12. And if the game before it is running a little bit later, they're gonna wait for it. So,
wow, it's gonna be a 9 o'clock.
You want to do post game tonight?
I'm gonna pass.
He's gonna have to get to that midnight crowd to wrangle.
Those are my people, bro. Those are my people. They're gonna be leading the club. Oh man, I got you guys. All the drunk people calling tonight.
Beto, what's the young man that's getting a lot of burn now? Number 12. Forward for the Lakers.
LaRava,
right?
Oh, Jake LaRavia.
Oh,
yeah. Tony cannot remember this dude's name.
I cannot remember his name to save my life. Beto, who's responsible for that one? For that?
He is. Because when they called him Rob Pelinka, they liked him. So he's a guy who is from the Indiana area, right? And then he is a guy who was on bad teams. And when you're on bad teams, you're just going to play bad. So when the Lakers called him right when free agency opened up, he jumped on it and said, yeah, I want to jump on the Lakers. Now, if LaRavia can knock down shots, he's going to get a lot of run. But also, the guys have been out with injuries, like Gabe Vincent was out for a little bit, so LaRavia got more time. They really like him because they like his role. They like what he can do. And if he can be a consistent shooter, he's going to play more because you're never going to see Jared Vanderbilt again because they don't trust him, and he is just in a funk out there. But LaRavia is a guy that
see him again, or are we not going to see him for the time being?
Bro, you shouldn't see him. If you're seeing Jared Vanderbilt right now, it's bad. He is dressing, but he's not playing because he can't hit a shot. And right now, if you're going to play for Lakers, you got to hit a shot. He cannot hit a 3, and then his defense has been subpar because that's what he's supposed to be doing, but he hasn't really been doing it. Like, I don't know if he's in his own head, but I know the coaching staff is just not trusting him right now. And even when he does go in for a couple minutes, it's like, okay, they yank him right away. Like, there's no leash on him at all. But it's like, he's just not in the right space. And it's like, next man up, let's go. And it's not Jared Vanderbilt at all. So LaRavia has been able to take advantage of this. Dalton Connect is a guy who cannot hit a shot. He's not confident, so you're not going to see him again. So this is where LaRavia is getting opportunities, man. I can't believe we're doing Jake LaRavia talk. You are a real fan.
Well, I'll be a real fan when I can say his name consistently. I think at that point.
Nah, you don't need to, bro.
Beto, as always, man, I appreciate you coming, spending some time with us, man. I probably won't talk to you before Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving to you and the fam.
Same to you, man. Always a pleasure. Hi, Chris.
Beto Duran covers the Lakers pre and post every game. Always fun to catch up with Beto. one of my dear friends in this industry. All guests on the 97.3 The Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. For those who are interested, we have a Gwynn versus the Fans coming up.
Yes.
833-288-0973. If you want to get your head top whooped, come on in.
I'm sorry?
Yes. Yeah, you want to get your head top beat. Here you go. This is not Chris though. You facing Tony today.
Yeah,
Did you add the questions?
I did.
Right.
I decided against trying that game that failed miserably last
I'm glad.
time.
We don't need
I didn't
any
even
more-
bring it up.
We don't even need to go there at this
Because
point.
people were encouraging me, saying that the thought was there. There was just nothing behind it.
I encouraged you too, but the thought not being there.
I was making rules up on the air.
that's
didn't even understand the rules.
That's not a good look for a new game. That's gonna be
definitely not
coming
a
to the
good look
fold.
for a new game.
All
at
right, again, 833-288-0973. Gwynn versus the Fan coming up next. All lined up. Phone lines is full. Ready to play some Gwynn versus the Fan. In case you didn't get the number, 833-288-0973. As my friend, what was my man's name? Lowry, the governor?
Landry. Yeah. I was like, what is he doing? Yes, Jeff Landry.
Jeff Landry.
Do you have to have a Creole accent if you're the governor of Louisiana?
Yeah, I think you kind of do. You got to have it. I got to feel it.
Yeah, you're the governor.
You feel it straight.
I mean, that's why Brian Kelly tried to change his accent when he got hired by LSU.
Very unsuccessfully. Wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. That might have been the end before it ever started. The fake
I still don't know what he was going
Creole accent.
Was it worse than the videos that he did while he was dancing with the players?
I think it was because, if I'm not mistaken, it was at the basketball game, and there seemed like it was a lot of people in there.
Like, what is he doing?
that was the look that everybody was like, "What is he?
Is he really doing an accent right now?"
Still need to pay the man though.
Yeah,
I hate to tell you that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, I guess we need wait no longer. Let's play some Gwynn versus the Fan.
Oh, that's right.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the...
Give me a second.
Oh, you got to put your other song on. Yes.
We have to make this
Gwynn
versus the Fans. And I'm not getting this quick enough. I'm
going to let you hang on this one.
Thank you, Tony, for letting me hang here.
You could just play the original song. I don't think it really matters.
It won't make sense.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself, now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Gwynn versus the Fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
K-Laws on the chat says, is that a point against Skraby?
It should be.
A point against We've kind of went away from the point system, which I think we need to go back to it because it seems to really rankle Chris.
Oh, well, he's not here. That's probably why we're not on.
Yeah, but I do have the points. I did get a point for that one. That was not great. All right. You will be qualified for a chance to win the grand prize, a trip for two to see Sammy Hagar in Las Vegas, including 2 tickets to the March 20th show, a 2-night stay at Park MGM, and a $100 gas card. Sammy Hagar returns to Las Vegas with his Best of All Worlds Las Vegas residency. Get ready to rock with your favorite hits from the Van Halen years, Sammy solo hits, and more only in Las Vegas this March 11th through the 21st and September 18th through the 26th at Dolby Live at Park MGM. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. The rules. You have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Tony gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Tony gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it, and you'll get that first question for free today. All right. Let's go to our first contestant. Who should we go with today? Let's go with Ricky. Hello, Ricky.
Hello, Ricky.
Hello, how you guys doing?
Doing
Pretty
well,
good.
my friend.
You ready to play?
All right. I'm ready to play. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. What basketball team beat the Aztecs last night?
Michigan.
Michigan is correct. Let's hope they get a win tonight. All right, Ricky, moving on to question number 2. Which current starting NFL quarterback averaged the most passing yards per game?
I'm going to go with most passing yards per game. I'm going to go with Drake May.
Drake May. Stay there, though.
Oh.
Stay there, though.
Who's having a good year statistically?
It's a good place to start.
Because a lot of times you get flooded by your fantasy points as you start thinking about
Oh,
this.
yeah, all the time.
And so I'm just why I said statistically. Lamar's not having a good year. Josh Allen's how about my homeboy? Let's go with my
Why
homeboy.
would you ever guess that?
Because he's having a good year.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ricky. I don't know. I feel worse when Tony does it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Stop it.
I'm sorry, Ricky.
You visibly look upset, and people can tell in the camera when Chris gets one right that
I'm actually angry.
You're actually mad.
Yeah. I didn't expect this when I looked this up this morning, but Patrick Mahomes averages 270 yards a game. Jameis Winston is actually first before anybody comes at me, but he's only started 2 games, or he's only played in 2 games. Drake May is on the list, but he's played 12 games instead of the 11.
By the way, Jameis Winston makes me so happy every time he's on the field. He is just a hilarious person to watch. Even when he scored that touchdown.
I can't tell if he's a serious guy or if he's.
I think that's what makes him so funny. Is he is dead serious.
Yeah, he is, and he believes everything that he says.
I mean, the way he scored that touchdown, and then him and the wide receiver, the lineman, hit the little dance at the same time. It was like they had been practicing that for like a week.
I did see that, and thought that was pretty fun.
I thought that was great.
All right, let's go to Jeremy now. Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good,
my friend.
Ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. In which sport, sometimes played on the beach, would you hear the terms bump, set, and spike?
Volleyball.
The volleyball is correct. Nice job. All right, question number 2. Who are the 2 quarterbacks tied for the most interceptions in the NFL right now?
Oh, wow. I'm going to pass.
You're going to pass. All right. Tony doesn't like that move. I can see it in his face.
I'm going to say it's the Raiders quarterback, Geno Smith.
The Raiders. Who's the other?
Oh, I got to give you 2?
Yeah.
What kind of nonsense is that?
I said, who are the 2 It's a question number 2.
I was
kind of nonsense.
Let's say Geno. Who else is poor? I mean, Cleveland's had too many quarterbacks, so it can't be one of them. How about Joe? Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. That is actually a really good guess, but it's the incorrect one. I wish Chris was here because Tua Tagovailoa.
He's won.
Chris
would have got that one at least for sure.
Yeah, it's Geno and Tua.
Geno was right.
Yeah, both of them are right. Yeah, 13 interceptions so far on the league. Geno's been sacked 41 times, yet Pete Carroll's son still has a job. All right, let's go to question. You're still alive, Jeremy. Let's go to question number 3. All right. Why was the 1919 NHL Stanley Cup final canceled?
This is ridiculous. What happened in 19?
Jeremy.
I'm gonna pass. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna pass. Okay, I think we talked about this, but this is okay for now. Only one pass going forward.
When did we talk about that?
Last week. We said you can't just pass your way to the win.
You can't. I never said that. I think that's a terrible
I
rule.
made a determination.
Okay, so you made this. 1919. What could
I wrote this question for Chris because he was there.
What could have happened that would cancel the game? Just a game?
It canceled the entire Stanley Cup final.
1919. I mean, I know like the
Rudy Gobert wasn't around.
The Spanish flu happened around that time, but I don't know if that's what we're talking about. I don't know.
Your answer is I don't know?
My answer is I don't know.
My goodness, Tony, you said it.
It was
the Spanish flu.
Oh, wow.
Wow, Jeremy, you are the winner. You hang on to on the line because I need to get your information.
I guess I should have just said go with that, huh?
Who knew you were a virologist?
I'm not, but I know that that's like the big thing that happened around that time.
I guess we did learn that during COVID. We learned about all.
We learned a lot about that kind of
Black
stuff.
Plague, all that stuff. Wow, nice job.
Well, I didn't actually. It's not a nice job. I didn't actually win.
I was just impressed that you said Spanish flu. I never thought in a million years. All right.
I mean, listen, in our country, there's not very many things that's going to stop a sporting event.
War,
right?
And a terrible flu,
right? That's pretty
true.
much. That's pretty much it. I mean, if we're being real, COVID couldn't even fully stop.
Yeah.
the sports we had here.
That is true. That is true. There was always those guys that were trying to get the sports in, like WWE.
Definitely not. Don't mind. Didn't mind it.
Of
Didn't
course.
mind it at all.
Do you remember those days? I feel
try
like
not
I
to
kind of
remember.
blacked those days out a little bit.
I just remember being in my game room for just absurd amount of time.
Like 9 months. Ugh.
I do remember when it finally seemed like when they had like the spring training in the stadiums.
Oh yeah.
That was it's like, oh, we're getting close.
I remember listening to you guys, you and Jesse, on the way home because I was really curious about the piped in audience noise.
Well, remember, I wasn't doing games yet. I mean, I might have did a couple. I don't know if I did any games that
Really? It was
year.
that long ago?
Yes, I didn't start full time until the following year. So I don't remember if I did any games in that 2020 season, but I do remember showing up to the studio and like it was wild.
Because I was just excited to hear baseball on the radio again. That was crazy.
Then they did the bubble for the basketball. Listen to the stories about that from those guys who were there is
some crazy stuff happened. I mean, you put a bunch of NBA players in a bubble. What is going to happen?
It's like I'm sure that would have been.
He said it's like I'm sure that was crazy.
let's get to break. On the other side, we got a little traffic. What you got?
Can we talk about the Brandon Ayuk situation?
You have to fill me in on it
because there's more.
I know that they took away his guaranteed money. At least that was just recently reported.
There's more about it.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Brandon Ayuk certainly is not on the same page with his organization, the San Francisco 49ers. This is now the second time Skraby has found a way to talk Niners. We'll do it in the next segment. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Traffic's going to be at the end of the segment. I should have said that too. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's for authentic Mediterranean cuisine in Coronado or La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. I'm watching Tony. He's just outside the window. He's checking something on his phone. I don't think he knows we're back yet. But he will walk into the room shortly. And we will start to go with the show again. Congratulations to our winner of Gwynn versus the fans. We're going to have our biggest fan given out later today around 5:35. Also, I have some Guns N' Roses tickets to give away, but we're not going to do those
I
in
know
this
where you're
segment.
going there. You said I got Guns and
Roses
there you go.
tickets to
Finish.
give away. We don't have we're not going to do it this segment, so please do not call. Please do not call.
It's cold in here.
It is getting a little chilly. If anybody, I get people all the time, dude, it's like 80 degrees outside. It's not.
Not
You know,
80
there's
degrees
something
in air.
called air conditioning,
Yeah.
and it cools the room. My vent goes right on me. That's why I'm always in a sweatshirt.
I'd be miserable if I had that.
I'm
vent over my
always in a
head.
sweatshirt because of that. But yeah, Tony's gonna put on his jacket, and then we're gonna talk Brandon Ayuk. But
Let's talk Brandon Ayuk, man. What is Brandon Ayuk for those who come on, keep up, camera. Here we go. Brandon Ayuk, who those who may remember was wide receiver for the 49ers. He was a bit of a thorn in their side. He got his money and then got hurt like 2 weeks later.
it was 8 weeks later.
Was
but
it that long?
Yeah, no, he went to like week 8, I believe, or something like that.
But, you know, as per usual, Skraby's not happy with Brandon because he got paid and, you know, things that he can't control, like injury things happen. And so he's been out. So he's been in Skraby's crosshairs.
Yeah.
Now, that being said,
Yep.
there's been some new information that's come to light, apparently. Now, we know last week, I believe it was discovered that 49ers have done away with the guarantees
They
of this
voided
deal.
his guarantees in his
Voided
deal.
them. Okay.
Which Kyle Shanahan said, I don't think I've ever seen this in my years in professional
Kyle Shanahan
football.
said that.
Yes. Kyle Shanahan, there's a weird story coming out of that building because Kyle Shanahan is like hoping that he comes back at the end of the season. And they voided these guarantees not last week, in July. So this has been something that's been under wraps, which I give them massive amounts of credit for being able to keep this quiet.
May not understand this, right? Not everybody has guarantees. He got some guarantees in his deal.
26 or 28 million or something.
Clearly, there was some language in the contract that said that they could void it for what the reasons. I'm sure we'll to find out.
Yeah,
here.
he didn't show up to meetings, or he wasn't at things he was required to be at.
While he was hurt.
So yes, so
I can see. I've definitely seen this.
So they say, or the writers are saying that this stems from Jimmy Garoppolo. When he got hurt, he went and rehabbed in LA where he lives and not with the team. So going forward, they want these guys to rehab with the facility.
Brandon Ayuk, who was he part of the team when Jimmy was there? I believe he was there.
Yeah.
Probably saw Jimmy Garoppolo get a chance to rehab where he wanted.
Exactly. The 49ers were like, no, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to write these things into the contract. So they did.
So they wrote that into the contract.
Yeah.
And Brandon was like, I don't care. I'm going to.
We don't actually know what he did wrong.
Typically, in these type of situations, it has to do with the rehab, right? He's coming back from trying to come back from
it was
an
a bad
ACL.
knee injury. It was a very bad knee injury.
And a lot of times I've been in organizations where somebody's not happy with the way the team is treating. I'm not saying that this is
I get it.
particular
I've heard
case,
that too.
but that's usually the thing that sets a player off in terms of, I don't trust doing the work here at this point. I'd rather trust my people. Now, the contract's a contract. It puts you in a bind as the player when the contract says you can't leave, so you basically got to use our people.
Yeah.
And so now they voided the contract. Now
they voided the guarantees.
They voided the guarantee, which means he can still get his money.
Yes.
It's just not. He's going to have to do some things in order to get that money.
Yeah, he basically what people are thinking this is just his way. He's not going to appeal the guarantees, and then he gets out of his contract and he can go be a free agent wherever he wants to be.
Now people are predicting he's not going to put up a
predicting,
stink?
yes.
Okay.
They haven't been, nothing's been reported. But there's also one thing that really angers me more than anything.
What is that, Skraby?
It's reported that he could be playing next week, this last night, but it's up to him when he plays.
See, now I gave you my take on it.
Okay.
This feels like team spin.
I agree with that.
Because
yes, I agree with that. Now you're trying to pit the fan base against the player.
This is, again, it goes back to this injury and possibly how it's being handled. He, for whatever reason, he's not showing up to their people. And now we get a report that says he can play, but it's up to him.
Yeah, that does seem
it seems weird.
I'm almost okay. You know what? I'm almost willing to throw that away.
But
he's still, he still is under contract by the 49ers.
Yeah.
And apparently, so they've tried to trade him a few times. Get this. He said, according to reports, that when they had a deal in place with the Patriots last year, he said he was unsure of the quarterback situation in New England, so he didn't want to go there. And they were going to give him an extension of $32 million a year.
I actually remember reading this.
Yeah.
And it felt like reading it that he kind of regretted not taking the opportunity to go. At the time, though, I mean, Drake May.
I get it, but they're going to pay you
this year.
$32 million. That is elite money for wide receivers.
I think it is. I mean, I know it is, but I do think you have to. This is where it becomes less about. I mean, the money's important, but it also important. Wide receiver is one of those positions that is completely dependent on
quarterback.
Who's going to throw it to you?
No, I mean, it tells me he wants to win a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. It shows you that it's not solely about the money, because he could have got a whole bunch more.
$32 million a year.
And he decided to stay.
I mean, so, I think that he made the right choice with the head coach of the Patriots, Mike Vrabel.
I think some would disagree with you on
but
that.
But last year they did have Gerard Mayo, so it was a completely different situation in that department.
I just think that we probably should withhold our judgment on this, because initially when I first saw it as well, I thought, come on, Brian, what are you doing, man? Like, but then you start to, it is not adding up completely the way it's being reported.
It's not. And the 49ers are not above.
No, they're not.
No,
let's be real.
No
organization is above that.
As soon as they know that this guy's not going to play for the team anymore, it's bad spin. Bad spin.
We see it yearly.
I didn't really get to say this, and this is the only time I'll say it, but that game last night, the 49ers should have lost.
You haven't played your song. I mean, I think they deserve it still. Just they got to win.
Bang, bang, Niner gang.
Yeah, it is.
Brock Purdy threw 3 interceptions in the first half. It was the Christian McCaffrey show. And then what Chris always says, that Kyle Shanahan got too smart. He went and tried to throw the ball a bunch.
There is no doubt that after watching Kyle Shanahan over the last few years, he gets bored when it's just going well.
It was an 8-minute and 50-second drive to open the game. Like you gave him the ball 8 straight times.
He just gets bored with it being working almost. Like it's designed, right? You get 6 on the first down, you get 2 on you're playing in these 3rd and 1s all the way up the field.
Yeah.
And then you get cute. And it seems like that is his kryptonite. It's the one thing I think can get him into trouble sometimes.
He does do that. He thinks that he needs a trick play when he just needs a 1-yard run up the middle. And coaches do this all over the place.
8 straight times.
It was crazy.
And there was no stopping him, by the way.
There was no stopping him. And I think the Panthers really missed an opportunity last night to prove that they are for real, because Brock Purdy turned that ball over 3 times. They got maybe 3 points off those turnovers.
I'll say this. This is watching some of the quarterback play, Bryce Young in particular. This is why patience is needed, because he's not who he was the first year. He improved the second year. This year he seems like he's on the cusp of turning the corner.
Yeah.
And then he has a game like last night. But it doesn't then mean that he can no longer play. Like, you just gotta, I just feel like these quarterbacks, especially now, coming out of some of the offenses they're coming out of, it just takes time. I think JJ McCarthy is going to be the same way. I think eventually, if a team sticks with him, it's going to be a good result.
Yeah.
We're watching it with Sam Darnold. We saw it with Baker Mayfield. I'm convinced now that if Sam Darnold would have just been left alone and had the same people, he's literally had like a different coordinator every year. I think he's been in the league.
And he was with the Jets.
Right.
Which
And
we
he
all
started
know.
with the
We
Jets.
all know how the Jets are run.
They ain't been right.
Woody
in a long
Johnson
time.
loves it.
Oh, man. All right, let's get to break. When we come back, Big Five. Last Big Five of the week. Skraby, is it any good?
It was definitely good. One of the
Would
Panthers.
you tell me if it was bad?
Yes.
I don't
I
think
said that a couple weeks ago. I said it's not my it's not my strongest.
You sure did.
But there's a Carolina Panther who got suspended for a game for punching someone in the wrong area.
We got to talk about some of the behaviors.
We will. Also, Players Era Tournament is killing the Maui Invitational.
Sad.
I got some feelings about it.
I'm sure you do.
Right.
All right, let's get to the other side.
Got it.
4:35 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Skraby. Just us today. Chris Ella making his way back from the island. Bahamas, that is.
Yes.
Just saw an interesting post come across my timeline. It says millennials are the drunkest generation in human history. And I bring this up, and I say this to Skraby off air, and he goes, well, really? I would have think that, this would be like the least. And I was like, you realize they're talking about us.
I know. I always forget.
Yes, we are like at the
born between 81 and 96.
Yeah, we're like right at the beginning of that.
I think we are mischaracterized as millennials because you and I are not millennials. Millennials are more of the
81 to 96. I was born 82.
But we don't act like millennials.
There's an early millennial, and then there's a late millennial.
Yeah,
I think the millennials born in 81 to, I'll say 92. They're about the same. There's some variations, but they're about the same. The rest of y'all suckers after 92, though. I don't know. Y'all closer to this generation that we have. I think that's a true statement, though.
That is the drunkest generation?
Yes.
Well, I contributed heavily to that generation drunk.
Our generation lived raw. And what I mean by that is, I should say it was the last generation that was allowed to live life without the protection.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
I was just talking to my wife about this the other day. We were getting on the kids' helmets, and I'm a proponent of helmets. Everybody should be wearing helmets. But I find it like a little bit difficult to be furious when I know I was on handlebars, I was on back of pegs, with no helmet at all.
Going down
hills,
hitting trash cans.
I mean, we were the last generation to live without the protections. This generation has everything at its disposal. Answers. I mean, they got it all. They don't have the street smarts that I think millennials have.
I actually
at least early millennials.
No, you're right. I actually really appreciate that. I grew up with no technology and then having technology.
We went from Atari, that was the first game,
Nintendo to now it's PS5, virtual reality.
I mean, I said this to my kids. The original games that we played really is like the equivalent of stick figures.
It's true.
Compared to what these kids are playing now.
I'm not kidding, Tony. When we got a computer as a family, the first thing I did was type.
Do you remember?
I was excited to type.
Do you remember what Oregon Trail looked like?
Of course.
It was so pixelated. It's just.
You know how many times my daughter died of dysteria or whatever it's called, or gets bit by a snake?
Yeah, man.
I was having this conversation with someone the other day because we have a really different idea of social media. I don't like to live my life on social media. This person doesn't necessarily like to live their life on social media too, but they also like to do the certain things, they do the birthday posts and things like that. And I was like, I don't do that.
It's funny. I had to untrain myself because you start to fall into that pattern, right? I do see how this generation can get FOMO, right? Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Right, because someone posts a birthday post, you kind of
I didn't get invited.
You kind of feel like you got to do the same thing when it's your turn.
See, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of builds and builds and builds. And it's you know what? It's perfectly fine when I wasn't posting anything.
Yeah, me too.
I don't have to do this.
I know, and in our job, it's I like to connect with people, but it's
for sure.
But for me, I don't. It's overwhelming just because I've never really been a social media person.
Yeah, no, it's these kids they got it different for sure.
I'm getting texts like crazy about how funny dysentery was.
I mean, measles. You can get got by measles. Don't try to cross that river with too much weight on.
No, you're gonna lose all of your meat. You're gonna lose all of your salt, your yolks.
That was the thing to do in Montessori when I was a kid. Sneak off and get a couple rounds of
Oregon
Trail. How about Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Remember that one? Of course.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh, it was time to be alive back in the 80s, 90s. Let's get to our big five after some traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Well, for the most part, folks are doing a pretty good job of staying out of trouble on our roads. We do have reports, however, of a stalled vehicle in the slow lane, south on 15 right past the 8. Also traveling on East 8 before Severn. Stalled ice cream truck in the right lane. Yeah, continue to take it extra carefully there, guys. As you know, one of the busiest travel days of the year, and a lot of folks coming to town, leaving town, or maybe just trying to get home from work. A message from Valvoline Instant Oil Change. You can't avoid holiday traffic or your relatives, but you can avoid car trouble. Swing by Valvoline Instant Oil Change before Thanksgiving. It's your 15-minute drive-through oil change. No appointment needed. Find your nearest location and grab money-saving coupons at SoCalOilChange.com. That's SoCalOilChange.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
You know, we're not ready for the Big Five yet because we need to get some more information, Tony, on, or you want to do that?
Let's do it later.
information
We'll go to it later.
Tony was reading me some stats on the generation,
Millennials,
millennial
man.
generation.
Yeah, we killing it in terms of alcohol. Like,
I can't disagree.
We'll get to it more.
Okay. First one, let's go there. That's always a good place to start. Eric Morris, who led North Texas to a 10-1 record this season, was hired as Oklahoma State's next coach, it announced today. Morris is going to remain with the Mean Green through the regular season and any potential American Conference title game or CFP playoff appearance. He takes over a struggling Oklahoma State program. Tony, they're 1-10 this year. I don't know that the last time Oklahoma State was 1-10, and they're 0-17 in Big 12 play over the last 2 seasons. Oklahoma State AD Chad Weiberg said Morris has proven his ability to build and lead winning football programs and has consistently identified, recruited, and developed some of the best players in college football. So, Tony, you're up first. You're going to be the athletic director. Would you gravitate towards hiring someone like Eric Morris, or would you gravitate towards someone like James Franklin?
Good question.
Thank you.
I think I would, if in order for me to gravitate to someone like Morris, I'd have to like be in on the ground floor and truly know what I'm getting in order to feel comfortable with a decision like this. Because I also know if Morris comes in and he is bad, my job is probably on the line just as much. I don't know that it's any different. Matter of fact, I think you may have a better chance of keeping your job if someone like James Franklin fails versus Morris, right? Because
one you're taking a shot,
right?
On
one guy is a proven commodity, at least in terms of being able to turn your program around, and at least have you in the conversation for this playoff. And one is, although seemingly a terrific coach, you don't know if he could do it on the big stage. This is a risk.
Yes.
And so for that reason, because this kind of goes back to the argument that Chris was making yesterday about why, I don't think it was on the overtime he was making this point. Can't remember, but why not go after, instead of a Lane Kiffin type name, you go after a coach like this, who is an up and coming guy that has turned a smaller program like North Texas, who, by the way, will be in, I believe, the Pac-12.
I think you're right.
Next year with the San Diego State Aztecs.
Good, get them out of here.
Well, they're going to be needing to hire probably a specific name to come into the Pac-12. That's how they're probably feeling, North Texas.
Interesting.
But yeah, if I was AD, I think I would probably be thinking about my own circumstances as well. And I think James Franklin sets me up to at least have a fall guy.
Yeah, like I mean, we all thought it was going to work out.
Right.
Yeah, no, that changed me on this because I was immediately going to say I'm going to go for the Eric Morris type of guy every time. But you're right. This is likely Chad Weiberg's maybe only hire for football. And if he doesn't get it right, then he's gone. So you can go with the James Franklin, like you said, and have a fall guy. But I would much rather feel like a genius and poach the guy who's great.
The risk versus reward. I mean, I think it's a high risk, but I think it's also
huge
high reward.
Yeah.
Now it looks like, you're the genius out here picking these talented coaches.
Yes. Brandon says a name like Sean Lewis. Don't say that, Brandon. Brandon's on the chat. If you would like to watch the show, you can. YouTube, just search Gwynn and Chris SD or 97.3 The Fan. You could also listen on the Odyssey app.
Number 4.
All right, Carolina Panthers safety Trayvon Mayrig, I think is his name.
Who is this?
Carolina Panthers safety. Okay. He was suspended 1 game by the NFL for unsportsmanlike conduct after hitting 49ers receiver Juwan Jennings in the groin during Monday night's 20-9 loss to the 49ers. Jennings retaliated after the game by striking him in the face. Jennings' action is going to be reviewed for a fine, but only Mayrig received a suspension. So here we go. Punching down low is 1 game, and spitting on someone is 1 game. Which is worse? I'm up first. Spitting is gross, but punching a dude down there as a cheap shot, I think that's almost below spitting. I don't know, but I would much rather be spit on than punched in the nether region during an NFL game. And the guy went straight for it. It was like spot on. It hit its target.
It was diabolical.
I think you get more. I think you should get more for punching someone in the nether region. Tony, which is worse here?
I just think you're a weirdo if you're punching somebody in the nether
agree.
region. I mean, that's just.
I've heard some stories of where guys like grab and twist and like fumble piles, and
that's just weird. You're a weirdo.
Yeah, those guys are weird though.
Like it's just weird. I think spitting's worse.
Okay. Why?
I just think spitting. I think when you punch somebody in the nether regions, as you said, you are thinking about how to hurt this person.
Yes.
How to get back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When you spit on somebody, you're thinking about how can I disrespect you?
That's true.
The most. Like, what's the thing that I could do to you that I know 100% is going to cross the line and like infuriate you?
Yeah.
I just think that's worse.
It's grosser for sure.
I don't think it clearly doesn't hurt the same, but I'm just saying I just think that's the most disrespectful thing you could do to somebody.
It's pretty disrespectful. It's pretty disrespectful.
I don't know that I feel any differently about him now after I've seen him do it, but I do appreciate that he stopped lying to us, Jamar Chase.
Oh, he did?
Oh, yeah. He released a statement yesterday saying he was wrong and that he actually did spit. I mean, you didn't need to we saw it.
Interesting. He came clean on something we already knew he did.
He came clean. I at least appreciate that. But I think spitting is it's just on site. Like somebody spits on you, it just has to be a fight right there. I'm surprised that Jalen Ramsey was not like
more angry,
having to be like pulled, like unplastering himself off of him.
Yeah. Man, you swayed me again. Spitting is more disrespectful.
If I walked up to you and just like in the nether regions versus
that's true. If you did the latter, I would be like, what just happened? The other one, I'd be like, oh, what just happened?
And I think maybe you might, it might take you a little bit to get to that anger, as it did Jennings.
Oh, yeah. He immediately came off the field.
Like he was looking for him.
Yeah.
He was looking for him. Like he got punched. He begged the referee. Referee didn't do much. And so from that point on, he was all right, fine. I'm going to get my get back as soon as this game is over. I'm looking for him.
I like how Joe Buck goes, we have I can't remember the exact word he used, but we have some sort of scuffle on the field right now. And then they found the replay that showed everything.
Because initially it looked wild. Like, Jennings, what are you doing, man? You just punching this dude in the face. And then they find the clip,
Yeah.
and you see why he's like that. So okay, you deserved every bit of that.
Yeah, when he originally got punched in the nether region, he backed up into Trent Williams, and Trent Williams was like, whoa, if I'm the safety, I'm running the other way if Trent Williams gets mad.
I mean, to be frank, when he came over and punched him when Jennings came over and open hand punched him in his helmet, Trent Williams was hanging around there.
He was. He knew what was going down. He's a perfect
I'm trying to
bodyguard.
be away from wherever Trent Williams is.
Me too.
I've watched him manhandle like grown men.
Yes.
Probably not good for
With
the
ease.
ego.
Number 3.
All right, the Browns are having a terrible season, as we know, but Myles Garrett is not. I did not know this until this morning, but he has recorded 18 sacks this year through 11
That record's
games.
going down.
Meaning, if he has 5 more sacks before the end of the year, he's going to set the all-time record for sacks at 23. So my question, Tony, with 6 games to go for the Browns, does Myles Garrett get to 25 sacks? That means that he would need 7 sacks in the next 6 games.
Yes. He's getting that.
He's getting the 25.
He's getting that. I think he gets there easy. He's getting like 3 and 4 sacks like at a time.
Yeah.
So how many weeks we got left?
Well, they got 6 games.
Yeah, he's gonna get that. That's a sack and a half.
I mean,
Basically, not even a sack and a half.
And he could pick up 4 in a game.
That's what I'm saying.
Not even blink. That's crazy. He is on fire. I agree with you. He's going to get to 25. All right.
Number 2.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams plans legal action regarding a brawl at UFC 322 inside Madison Square Garden on November 15th. Adams released footage showing Dylan Dennis, I'm going to mispronounce these names, everyone, a former Conor McGregor teammate and members of UFC champion Islam Makhachev's team fighting on the arena floor before the main card. Adams called the assault unacceptable, stating the NYPD is investigating and all responsible parties will be held accountable.
Who's Adams?
Mayor of New York City.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
UFC CEO Dana White permanently banned Dennis, who has a history of public fights and had posted disparaging comments about Makhachev prior to the event. So I'm up first. Should these guys face charges from the NYPD? This isn't WWE. You're not fighting backstage. Like, if you're fighting, you're really fighting. You're actually fighting. I was also reading.
Really? You sure?
Yeah, I think so. I was also reading that the Dennis guy was someone was trying to punch someone else in the back of the head, and that's where stuff gets dangerous. Do I think they should face charges? Probably. It's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth the time and effort to take these guys to court and arrest them and all this other stuff. But I would put them on notice for sure. What do you think, Tony?
This is an interesting one because I actually saw Dana White reacting to this, and he claimed that it was his fault. In case you don't know, the Dennis dude is like the ultimate agitator. He is in every comment trying to provoke. And they won't let him. He's not in UFC. He's not a UFC fighter. He wants to be, but he keeps doing these things that constantly get him in trouble. So listen to Dana White talk about it. He was basically like, he was told that Dennis was in the building, and his only concern was that he had a ticket. If he had a ticket, he let him go. And they were asking him because they know how he is, if they should remove him. And he said he made a mistake. He thought that if he had a seat, it would kind of work itself out. It didn't. He said that dude will never, you'll never see him at a UFC fight again. And they asked him if he wanted to press charges. He declined to press charges. Okay. But he sounded like he's fed up with the Dennis cat.
I did not know that.
Apparently, he has said and done some things about the Muslim faith.
Yeah, I figured that was something.
And that has why those guys are on high alert every time they see.
So you think Eric Adams is going down the wrong path?
I think
focusing on the wrong people.
Yes, I think Eric Adams is looking to get some pub.
Yeah, he needs good pub. I mean, he's almost done.
He's about to be.
He's almost done.
This might be his last little bit of pub.
Brandon says, "Okay, where do you draw the line? If you intentionally hit a batter, couldn't that be labeled as battery?" I think that's in the on the field
Well,
of play.
Don't get it twisted. We definitely heard that kind of language.
We've talked about it.
Oh, these barbarians out here are throwing baseballs at each other.
I remember, I think it was Urania or someone who hit Ronald Acuna, and they were trying to charge him.
Charge him. Like, get out of here.
All right, Mark Ziegler from Las Vegas when we get back on 97.3 The Fan.
Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going in with, too. Let's take a look. Of course, Alan Trammell from Kearney High School in San Diego. And then, of course, the Detroit Tigers, great shortstop. Jack Morris in a Tiger uniform there, but I always remember him pitching that 1-0 shutout in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series for the Minnesota Twins. Maybe the greatest postseason pitching performance of all time. Chipper Jones, Padre fans remember him. Every fan of a National League team remembers him because he would come in and do damage to that team. Only the second #1 overall pick in the Major League Draft, Chipper Jones, to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The other is Ken Griffey Jr. Vladimir Guerrero. Never met a pitch he couldn't swing at. And powerhouse hitter for the Expos and then, of course, the Angels at the end of his career. Jim Thome, over 600 home runs, mostly with the Cleveland Indians. And then, the guy down here on the end who used to get all these guys out all the time, Trevor Hoffman, the greatest Padre reliever of them all. Two of the greatest outfielders in the history of baseball. Of course, you've got Babe Ruth right here. Ted Williams right over there. I was wondering who the third outfielder would be. And then, of course, it hit me. Tony would be upset if I didn't say that the third outfielder, who will someday probably be displayed right here between these two guys, is obviously Mike Trout. And this is the San Diego Padres locker room here in Cooperstown. Obviously, a couple of jerseys there and hats, gloves, all-star stuff. I think the most interesting thing in this entire display, though, especially this weekend, is a picture in the top corner of Angus Young. He's the guitarist for AC/DC, wearing a Trevor Hoffman uniform, obviously playing Hell's Bells. I know that Trevor went to many AC/DC concerts and was honored by sitting in the front row to watch AC/DC play Hell's Bells in his honor. But there's a picture of Angus Young playing Hell's Bells for Trevor Hoffman, wearing the 51 jersey right there. Chris, hello. Yeah, we're here in Cooperstown for 97.3 The Fan. So excited, the induction weekend for the great Trevor Hoffman. What a class he's going.
Although this first segment might not be terribly happy, Skraby and I also have something to discuss. He was just talking about backward parking, and this guy is an avid hater of backwards parking. So we'll get into it on the other side. Mark Ziegler joins us here, San Diego Union Tribune. Mark, thank you for your time. As always, my friend, how are you?
I'm not a fan of backward parking either. So
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
I'm in Chris's camp here.
Oh, man.
Team LO.
Yep. LO, you and Skraby are all a part of the non-backer.
Tony keeps using the argument, what if I need to leave quicker?
Hey, I'm prepared. If
like you are always running from a murderer.
Touche.
Earthquake in the parking garage. Got to get out.
Mark, last night was disappointing to say the least. I don't know. We knew it was a step up in competition. I don't know that anybody expected it to look like that. I mean, from your standpoint, what do you think went wrong for the Aztecs last night against the Michigan Wolverines?
I mean, I don't even know if I know. I mean, it was as shocking to me as it probably was to anybody else. And I'm around this team. Usually I have a pretty good vibe and feel for the team. And there's a disconnect between practice and games right now because the practices, I see them going hard. They're energetic. They're willing learners. The intensity is high for the most part. There's good competition and the level is high. So that should be preparing you for games like this. And I just, what shocked me was the lack of fight. And that's something that we've seen in San Diego State teams over the last few decades. They don't get blown out. I mean, there's very few games they lose by. I remember, in recent seasons, they lose by 21. And I'm looking up going, oh my gosh, that's their worst loss in 300 games. 40? I mean, I had to go back to I was going back and going. It was 1999 with Fred Trinkle. And it was the last time. And that was just an awful team. I mean, there wasn't one guy on that Fred Trinkle team that could make the roster, including the walk-ons on this team. So, I don't know if there is an explanation. I don't even know if they should have one.
Yeah.
Other than they're not playing very well right now.
Mark, typically we have a loss, maybe not this bad, but it's usually tape fodder for Dutch the following day or whenever they get a chance to look at it. Is this one of those games that you may not even look at? I mean, how much are they going to learn from a night like last night?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like from my days, and Chris will appreciate this, when you're coaching high school basketball and you just get overmatched against a team and there's really nothing you can do. And they're just coming down and they're shooting layups and they're putting the press on, they're getting easy steals and dunks, and you're just sitting there just taking it. And it felt like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like the difference in levels was like that. To answer your question, I mean, the answer was, are they going to look at this tape? No, they don't have time. I mean, they have 22 hours before their next game. And so they just try to flush it. And what I couldn't tell last night and listening to them speak was, are they really honestly just going to flush it and pretend it never happened?
Yeah.
And that's the right approach, or are they in denial? And they might be in denial. And part of the problem with being in denial is you can't address the issues behind the scenes until you admit that there's a problem.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'll certainly pass along that note to Chris, who's out with the ladies team.
Unfortunately, let Mark know. Sorry, Mark.
I'll definitely pass it along to him. Mark Ziegler joins us here, San Diego Union Tribune. I guess the one bright spot was Elzy again. I mean, I think you got a chance to see why he is so highly touted. I mean, he didn't seem to have very many issues in terms of mid-range, getting to a spot, getting the shot up. If there was a positive spot in there, I guess it'd be him, right?
Yeah, and to a lesser extent, BJ Davis, but we've seen BJ for a few years, and he showed some fight at least. But yeah, LZ was clearly the best thing that came out of this game, and in some ways, maybe that was a good thing going forward. Look, the elephant in the room here is, and I think the coaches probably, if you give them some truth serum, would admit it. They've known since probably in the middle of the summer that he's really, really good, and he's probably better than anybody else they have at the point guard. but he's a freshman, and Dutch is real loyal to older guys, understands there's a lot of sweat equity involved, and the sort of the chemistry of a team, and you don't want to have powders. But I think the elephant in the room is LZ's got to start. And, it's just a question of when, not if, in my mind. And he showed it last night. He showed an ability to play on the ball screens. I mean, he's a freshman playing like he's an eighth-year senior. It was really pretty impressive. And he said something really interesting to me. I didn't put in my story. I asked him afterwards because, he played pretty well the first two games. And then last game against Troy, he had 6 turnovers and I think only 1 assist. And really some uncharacteristic mistakes. He looked like a freshman in that game. And it was, part of the reason, not the only reason, part of the reason they lost. And so I said, how did you go from that to turning it around and playing as well as you did against a really good team? And he said, the first 2 games, I didn't think I played that well, but everyone kept telling me I played really well, and I started to believe them. And that was a mistake. And that's a pretty mature thing to say. And it's almost like the rest of the team needs to take that advice. Like everyone's telling them how good they are, and clearly they're not as good as they think they are. Maybe they need to be humbled a little bit. And he did it and came back with a big game, and maybe the rest of them need to too.
It's such an interesting point, because when we had him on, he was talking about those first 2 games and how, he realized the type of level he was playing at and how he needed to step it up. And it's interesting to hear you say that he's already recognizing it as a freshman. That's a mature thing that a lot of guys don't get to until year 2, 3. But you also said something that to me, watching this team is glaring. And that's the point guard position. I don't know that they really have someone that is getting them in and out. And if LZ needs a spot to start, could you see him running the point for this ball club, even as a freshman?
Yeah, I think that's what's going to have to happen if they're going to really be the team they think they're going to be. The problem is Taj won the job fair and square in the fall. There's no doubt about it. I was at most of those practices. He was their best player. He's the leading scorer in through their 2 inter-squad scrimmages, all the things that Brian Dutcher wanted to see, he showed. He really improved in the offseason. He was really their most improved player, but he's kind of hit a wall now in games. And part of the problem is he's not an elite athlete. He may look like he is, but he's not an elite athlete. He doesn't have that burst to get around people. He's a big body, and that has its advantages, and he has great court vision, but he's not an elite athlete. And the second thing is he doesn't play with this sense of urgency. Maybe he does internally, but externally he looks very unpurposeful. And I think that's in a point guard, that's sort of your leader on the floor. You need to have a little bit more energy. And then the guy they really brought in to be the point was Sean Newman Jr. He's been kind of banged up all fall, but it just looks like the jump up in level, he's really struggling with that. And maybe he'll get there, but he's not there right now. And then you look around going, well, then who's our point guard? Well, here he is. And so I think it's a question of, how do you want to play the office politics here? You just throw him in there tonight and say, LZ, here's the keys, go for it. Or do you slow play it a little bit and maybe wait for a 10-day break and then introduce him as the point guard?
I can certainly see a scenario in which they slow play it. I mean, this is in today's college environment, it's a tricky thing to have these type of players, this type of talent, but you all got to find a way to keep them at least happy enough to be here and not be a problem.
Yep, 100%. And Brian Dutcher talked about that afterwards when I asked him. I said, "Is this just a rotation thing?" And he said, "Yeah, we've got to sort out our rotation." He goes, and he goes, guys like LZ certainly deserve more playing time, but I also have to be cognizant of the veterans who have been around and sweat, for years, and I've got to be respectful and loyal to that as well. So he understands that balance, and this is going to be one of his tougher coaching jobs. I don't think he thought it was going into the season with the amount of talent he had, but as they got close to the first game, he told me privately a couple times, this is going to be tough to keep everybody happy and figure this out. And now they got to figure it out. Unfortunately, as you said last night, they don't have time to figure it out overnight. There's no major change they can make that will miraculously turn this team around. They're just going to have to suck it up for these next 2 games, try to win at least one of them, and get back home, and then really make the hard, tough decisions.
Talking to Mark Ziegler here, San Diego Union Tribune, about the Aztecs basketball team. And I wanted to talk about the tournament itself because I was reading earlier today, the Maui Invitational is seemingly probably going to go away over the next few years. And the Players Era tournament is taking over because they have the money behind it. Personally, does it make you sad that tournaments like the Maui Invitational are going away, or do you like these big tournaments with lots of great teams and money on the line?
I mean, I see both sides. You want to see the best teams play each other. And the one good thing that Players Era has identified is that there's kind of three parts of the college basketball season. We all know about March Madness, and that's, a lot of people consider it the greatest sporting event in our country and maybe the world. It is an incredible sporting event. And so you have that. And then you have sort of the conference seasons / conference tournaments that have their own interests and their rivalries, regional rivalries. But the first third of the season is kind of this wasteland, and it never has had any kind of structure. And so what the Players Era is trying to do is bring some kind of structure and relevance to the first part of the season. And what I thought they were going to do is move in a direction and do something like, okay, if you made the Sweet 16 last year, you get an invite to our tournament, you get $1 million, and we're going to replay the Sweet 16 in Thanksgiving week in Las Vegas. And it's kind of going a little bit in that direction, but what they just announced earlier this week is that they reached a partnership with the Big 12. The top 8 teams of the Big 12 from the previous season get bids to the Players Era and the $1 million. And so they're going to have 8 Big 12 teams in this thing. And what I'm kind of wondering in the back of my mind is, where's the Pac-12 and Mount West going to be in all this?
Right.
Because if, you can't keep getting blown out by 40 in this tournament and expect them to keep inviting you back. And if San Diego State doesn't get invited back, that's $1 million out of their pocket, and they really need that money for NIL.
Yeah, it's safe to say that a bounce back game here tonight is in order, because this tournament, I assume, is only going to elicit more and more high quality, high caliber teams as we move forward. Certainly be interesting to see how it goes. As always, Mark, appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge with us about this Aztec squad.
All right, I'm going to go drive over to the arena, and I'm going to pull into my spot.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate that. Very good, man.
Fair enough, Mark. Thanks for your time, brother.
All right, see you, man.
Mark Ziegler, San Diego Union Tribune. A lot of a lot of interesting questions for the Aztecs moving forward. That last one, that $1 million is a big deal, like to help this program, specifically a program like San Diego State
that's huge,
isn't bringing in that type of NIL otherwise consistently. Being able to have that is a big deal. And
who's the head coach of Houston?
Sampson.
I want to talk to Sampson.
I want to talk to Sam.
He said when they first originally called him about Calvin Sampson.
Yeah.
When they originally called him about it, they said, "Oh, we're going to give you $1 million," and he thought it was fake. He thought it was like, no, this can't be real. This just doesn't happen. And then he got in some Zooms with them, and he realized it was real.
He pretty much said he would have showed up to a parking lot with his team to play for $1 million. So it's a big deal. And I think Mark is right. Getting blown out by 40 can't help your car. And the thing that made me uncomfortable is they were the only team that really got blown out in yesterday's games. All the other games were somewhat close.
They were.
The Aztecs were the only one that got blown out. So do we have to stay until 16 now at this point?
No, let's just go to break, because we got Marcelo Balboa on the other
that's
side.
right. Back to SDFC. Marcelo Balboa will join us. We'll break down this Vancouver SDFC matchup coming up here next week. More Gwynn and Chris.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight and back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Pretty good.
Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfuss and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh?
Are you a baseball player?
I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad. Oh, there's Dick Williams, Goose. I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over here. So.
What are you thinking of seeing it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, who not too many people can say they have a dad that's enshrined in this place. So I think this is awesome.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight at the back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Pretty good.
Wow. Just like I told you, next to the famous Barney Dreyfuss and Leslie Wilkinson, whoever they are.
That does look like them.
I know. It's a good shot. They don't do them all that great. That one's good. Really good.
I missed a year. 300. Must have been bad. Huh?
Are you a baseball player?
I used to be. Not anymore, though.
Oh, it's so cool. What team did you play on?
I can give you a long list of them. Brewers, Padres, Dodgers, Phillies, Nationals.
What position did you play?
I played outfield. This was my dad. Oh, there's Dick Williams, Goose. I think he'd be pretty happy with his company over here. So.
What are you thinking of seeing it for the first time?
I'm thinking
I'm hot. I'm quite warm right now, but it's cool. I mean, it's what I thought it was going to be. I mean, who not too many people can say they have a dad that's enshrined in this place. So I think this is awesome.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm going to see the museum for the first time ever. It's going to be sweet. See my dad's plaque. See where Trevor's plaque is going to be. It's going to be pretty dope.
Chris,
I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame for the second time because I went earlier today, but I'm going in to see Tony go into the Hall of Fame. So all the way straight at the back left.
Straight back left.
Straight on that back wall.
This one?
Yeah.
How you feeling, Tony?
I don't know how I'm feeling right now, honestly.
Excited?
I'm definitely excited. Hello, Eric. How you doing? Pretty good. 20 on the clock. Tony Gwynn Jr., Matt Skraby. Let's jump right to our next guest, Marcelo Balboa, who has had a crazy travel day here the last couple of days. Joins us here to talk a little SDFC. Marcelo, how are you feeling, man? I know you've been through it the last couple of days.
I'm good.
Good.
I'm good. I finally, after last night's game, I finally made it back to Colorado.
So
Just landed.
Back at home, just landed. Well, we won't keep you too long. I'm just super excited about the SDFC win last night. So many things popped up because I believe last time we had you on, we talked a little bit about their previous matchup. And the thing that I saw last night, you could almost see the frustration starting to mount on SDFC because Minnesota just packed it in and there were just not a lot of openings. They finally ended up getting one, but you could kind of see why that team could give SDFC a little bit of problems.
Big time, because when you talk about San Diego, you talk about a team that likes to play wide, that likes to play in the back of over the top of the back line, making run-ins behind that back line, and Minnesota took that away. And you did see a little frustration. It wasn't their best game, and listen, Cisniega came up huge on two plays to keep you at 0-0 at that point. So, listen, I think it's a good quality that they had to grind out a result. They had to fight to the end. It showed some character. It showed some grit, some bite with this team, and they found a way to get it done.
Marcelo, it seemed that Mikey Veras took issue with kind of the perception of his team not being a hardworking team. Now, listen, I'm not plugged in like you are. Where does that come from? This team, at least from what I've seen, is a hardworking team. They play all 90 minutes. Where does that stigma come from? Where is that kind of idea shaping?
I don't even know where I've never heard that San Diego is not a hardworking team. I've never heard that they're not a team that's going to fight for 90 minutes. That would be against everything Mikey has.
Yeah.
Because when you watch that team step on the field, especially at home, they go after teams and they press and they run. And I mean, when you talk about Pilcher, the way he ran across and saved that goal, he was running back at full speed. I mean, Bombino had a fantastic game, and we're not even going to talk about what Aníbal Godoy did after going to qualifying with Panama, coming back in a few days and starting. He had a fantastic game. So I don't think that a lot of people are going to say that they're not a hardworking team. I think last night it wasn't about hardworking. It was more mental. How can we break them down in this low block? Where can we find the little gaps? Where can we play the little 1-2s? Where can we find the overloads? And they did that at the end. And listen, let's be honest. The ball Tverskov plays over the top of that back line. Finally, you got in behind. And what Coy Burke did with that back heel and no one marking Dreyer, big mistake. And it cost him. One mistake cost him the game.
I forget who the defender was to Dreyer's right, but I remember that ball bouncing and him kind of looking around like, is somebody going to get to that? And all of a sudden it was Dreyer who ends up putting it in the back of the net to give the SDFC the 1-0 win. Marcelo Balboa joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Marcelo, let's talk about this next matchup. Obviously, SDFC caught Vancouver on that last Saturday as they lost in their final game. SDFC takes the top spot. So for that reason, they'll be here at Snapdragon. How do you see this kind of matchup unfolding? Because Vancouver has a very, very good team as well.
Yeah, but they're at a disadvantage already because Blackman got a red card against LAFC. The center back got one. Mueller has a little bit of a hamstring. They were showing the other day that he came off. He had just a little bit of a tightness. So I think you're going to have to wait and see. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's an absolutely wonderful matchup. Two teams that want to attack, two teams who've got star players in Mueller and Dreyer. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle because I can guarantee you Vancouver will not sit back and defend in a low block and wait and let LA come. They're going to press you. They're going to run. They're going to run just as much as San Diego. So when you look at this matchup, it should be. I'm not saying it's going to be a lot of goals, but I'm saying it's going to be back and forth action.
I'd be remiss, Marcelo, if I didn't ask you about the recent kind of change to the MLS schedule? I mean, this has been something that has been debated, it seems like, for quite some time. MLS now making the move to align their schedule so that it looks like, everybody else's schedule across the soccer world.
Yep.
How do you think what do you think about this decision? You think it's a good one, bad one? How you feel?
No, listen, it was a long time coming. If we're going to get with the rest of the world, we've got to go on their calendar. Yes, will it be difficult in some I mean, you guys don't have to worry about it in California, Texas, or Florida, but other teams will have to worry a little bit about the weather. But it happens all over the world. This is maybe going to get us into this phase of maybe start building some of these smaller dome stadiums for soccer. But listen, we're going to be aligned with the rest of the world. So instead of getting Vancouver getting Mueller with 10 games to go, 12 games to go, they get him at the beginning of the year and they have him for a full year. Instead of Son coming in with 12 games to go, he comes in at the beginning of the year and has a full season with his team. So it's going to align. Are we going to have hiccups? Yeah, 100%. But this is something that needed to be done.
How big of a deal is because everybody seems to be making a big deal about the cold weather areas that are going to have to deal with this winter portion of the schedule, at least part of the winter portion of the schedule. Yeah. What is the difficulty in that? Is it just strictly playing in the cold weather?
Well, listen, let's just suppose it's 20 degrees outside. There's a little bit of wind chill. Now you're dropping it down to 15 degrees. You're going to pack up all the kids and you know what I mean?
Right.
So the ground, sometimes it's going to be they're going to have to do more work on the fields to make them softer so they're not hard at that time of the year. So there comes a lot to it just because of the cold weather. Gotcha. Here in Colorado, the grass goes dormant. Now, how do you keep the grass green from going dormant and those kind of, you know what I mean? So listen, it's nothing that they don't do in Europe. It happens all over Europe that you're playing in the snow, you're playing in that kind of weather. So it's just something that we're going to have to get used to. And like I said, this country has turned into a soccer country. So if you're a fanatic, you'll be out there more than likely with no shirt on, waving your shirt and cheering at 15 degrees.
Listen, we see it all the time in football. I don't see why we can't see it in soccer on the other side. Marcel,
exactly.
We certainly have appreciated you coming on and kind of schooling us on this game as SDFC has made this phenomenal run. Appreciate your time once again today, and we'll catch up again soon.
Fellas, anytime. Thanks for having me.
Marcelo Balboa, analyst for the MLS Season Pass on Apple Plus. And he's an Aztec for life. We can't forget that. All right, let's.
He's got a very positive disposition to him.
He does, and after traveling all day, I'm surprised he was that positive.
I gave his handler. I gave him an out. I was like, we totally understand if he can't come on the show after being. So what happened was his pilot got sick. And so they had to call another pilot to come take the plane.
Been there before. And that's on a charter flight. I've had that happen. Like, you reach your hours and you gotta get a new flight, gotta get a new pilot.
That is crazy.
Yeah, it happens. Thank you, Marcelo, for your time. All right, let's get to break. On the other side, we'll have our interview of the week, which happens to be was Ryan Philly with us earlier?
I think we stick with the SDFC talk.
It's listen, they're on the cusp of doing something, and I know soccer fans. I know it would happen a long time ago, but they haven't done in major soccer. We haven't had it here in San Diego. So we're gonna stick with it. More on that on the other side. Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for two managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff. And he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of and as the manager, but I got good people around me. If I got good people around me, I just got to be able to trust them.
Right.
That'll be the hard part, but we're going to build that trust within the clubhouse, within the coaching staff. So I'm not doing it all myself. We're going to share responsibility. We're going to share the successes. I'll take the blame. And then we'll see where the dust settles. But I'll, obviously, hopefully gain a lot of experience where we get to the end of the season and we're in that playoff hunt.
Yeah.
That we're rolling and we're humming and we got a good process going.
Now, you mentioned, kind of building off what Mike has done here the last couple of years, adding to his legacy. You obviously have your own strengths, though. Where do you see your strengths being able to be applied to this ball club and how it may be of help?
Yeah, Mike had so much experience of organizing, how to be a great baseball team. He'd been mentored by many great managers, right. And he'd taken a lot from those guys. And I just listened to what he had to say about that stuff, and I saw how he did it, observing and listening to how he kind of went about his business. So a lot of the things that he did, I'm going to probably keep doing the same thing. What I think I can add is maybe just I'm a little younger. I got a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
I've got some relationships within the clubhouse that are maybe a little bit different. Does that give me the avenue to push them in a little bit different way or like sneak in there to get them to do a few things that they haven't been quite, open to in the past? Maybe I don't know. We'll find out. But, I'm going to treat them, with respect and hopefully get that respect back. And we're going to try to make this team as best they can be.
Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, you're clearly coming this with your eyes wide open with this situation. I heard you say partnering on multiple occasions up on the stand there. What does that look like for the fans who are listening and may not know what partnering looks like? What exactly is that?
Yeah, partnering, it's a give and a take. We have relationships with our families, our moms, our dads, our wives, our kids. It's not always my way or the highway.
Right.
There's got to be, even in this decision to become the manager, there was a lot of give and take with me and Audrey, deciding what was important to her and what we were going to miss by taking this, what was important to me, what I was going to miss in this, and then coming to a decision that works best for both of us. And I think those types of things can happen throughout the year with players, trying to get them on the field to do certain things in practice or in the game, but like partnering them in the way that's like, it's not just my decision.
Right.
We're in this together. We're accomplishing a goal together. It's not my, championship that we're going to win. It's our championship. It's the Padres championship. It's AJ's, it's John's, it's Eric's, it's Manny's, it's Toddy's.
Right.
It's all of ours together. It's Ruben's. We share that success together. I'll handle the blame, and then we'll do this together.
Last one, I'll let you get out of here. I know you got a busy day ahead of you. Mike Shildt did a terrific job of really shielding his players. He always was the man taking all the arrows coming at the ball club. But you also mentioned being able to push the guys. What does that look like? Because I think oftentimes fans hear, managers take the arrows and they're under the impression that there isn't any, pushing going on the backside of that. What does that look like sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, we got great players. So, like, the amount of pushing I need to do is limited.
Right.
But we can give them new ideas on how to navigate a season. And Mike was so good at, like, handling the players and taking the arrows, like you said, in the media and throughout the season and pumping those guys up and making them feel great. But there's ways that, like, maybe they haven't been exposed to, and that's what we're going to challenge our staff to do, is come up with creative ways to keep Manny Machado, healthy for a full season. Xander Bogaerts healthy for a full season as they get a little older in age, and can we have guys peaking at the right time and stuff like that? Just like open to new ideas and creative ideas, and the players will be partnering with that with the coaching staff to create something that we think will build us a championship team.
Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager, and Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for two managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversation with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff, and he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first-year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of. And as
35 on the clock. Congratulations to today's biggest fan, Michael Shackton. Michael Shackton, C-H-A-A. Let's try it again. S-C-H-A-C-H-T-E-N.
Yes.
I'm going with Shackton.
I think it's Shackton.
Okay. Michael Shackton of San Diego. Give us a call within the next 10 minutes, 833-288-0973, and you'll qualify for our grand prize, 20 tickets for you and your friends for a night in our Odyssey suite at a Padres game with all of the fan staff later this season. Catered by Spiros Mediterranean Cuisine. Remember to register your name at 973thefansd.com/biggest fan. All right, Michael Shackton, your clock is a ticking. I'm having to watch Michigan after they beat on our team.
Yeah. Are you okay?
Not really. We didn't talk about the Sonny Gray trade today at all.
Oh, we did not.
Sonny
You're right.
Gray, pitcher from the from the Cardinals, goes to the Red Sox for 2 prospects, 2 arms for the Cardinals. So some movement there. I think Phil Maton signed a 2-year deal with the Cubs.
That guy's
as well.
still pitching.
He's got the high spin rate, and it's still working.
All right.
So,
good for him.
Absolutely. That's really it for all of the baseball news.
Is that a needle mover, the Sonny Gray?
I don't know, man. The Red Sox got something cooking over there, it seems like.
They do.
I don't know what it is. They got a bunch of really young, talented players. They got the year from Crochet that, I don't know that everybody was expecting at that rate, but now you had to do like Sonny Gray, who, by the way, didn't miss 1 start last season. He made every one of his starts. So the guy's going to grab the ball every 5th day. That's a valuable piece in a rotation.
We saw that with a guy named Dylan Cease.
Now, on the flip side of that, I don't know if they're signing Alex Bregman. It sounds like this might have been a 1-year deal for
That's
1
so
year.
crazy.
And he had a great season for him.
He did, and he signed for a lot of money too.
I like Alex Bregman. I think Alex Bregman is top tier. All right. Interview of the day. Ryan Finley joined us to talk a little SDFC. They will be competing in the Western Conference Final against Vancouver. I think the Whitecaps, right?
I think that's their name. Yeah.
I think that's their name. All right. Before we get to that interview, here's some traffic.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring Water. Well, whether you're on the roads to try and get a jump start on the holiday weekend, or maybe you're cruising into town for the holidays, or maybe you're just trying to get home from work, whatever it is, hang in there out there, guys. It's pretty busy. A couple problems on the coastline. Disabled vehicle stopped on 5 right before Manchester. It's over to the right shoulder. Further down, right before the racetrack, got a collision involving several vehicles. It's blocking the second lane from the left. There's another vehicle over to the right shoulder. Also have a stall in middle lanes on northbound 5 before the 78. Southbound 805 at El Cajon Boulevard. Several vehicles involved in a crash. They're all in the center divide. And now eastbound 8 before Waring Road. Reports of a stalled vehicle in the second lane from the left. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Gwynn Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All guests on the 97.3 The Fan. Join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Let's bring on Ryan Finley joining us here from the San Diego Union Tribune. Ryan, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for giving us some of your time today. I mean, SDFC did not disappoint. There's a nervous energy, as you probably know, here in San Diego about, our teams getting to the postseason and not quite living up to the expectation. SDFC has done that, and some terrific win yesterday. Just looked like that place was electric once again.
Yeah, it's been great. It's funny. Soccer's so stressful, right? And especially when it's a scoreless game for, almost 3/4 of the game, I think your mind starts to wander to like, oh, geez, are they going to blow this? Is something bad going to happen? And then San Diego FC, like it has throughout this playoff series, scores at the opportune time. Their defense was solid. Anders Dreyer is just developing into a star before our eyes here. Just a huge goal. He seems to show up in all of the big moments for them. Just a great performance by him, and a great performance by SDFC last night on, I think, a really sandy field, a not great conditions, and a really stressful situation, playing a tricky Minnesota United team. So yeah, huge game for them, huge win.
Talking to Ryan Finley here of the San Diego Union Tribune, and we were just talking about Mikey Veras and how well he's done this year and how perfect he is for the city of San Diego. And he's dealt with a lot of stuff this year. He dealt with the chance earlier in the year. He had this Chucky Lozano situation recently. How does this come from the top down, or is this a Mikey Veras thing and it's just infectious?
I think it does come from the top down. That said, I think Mikey Veras is kind of the perfect spokesman for what they're trying to do. I'm out there at practices all the time talking to him. He's just such a different guy.
Yeah.
And I mean that as a total compliment. In a place like San Diego, he's a great fit here. A very eloquent, great communicator, can talk about very esoteric things and then very specific things. And you totally understand what he's talking about. And he does it in 2 languages, guys.
Yeah.
I can barely speak one. He speaks 2. And, what he is able to convey, and I know the word culture gets beaten to death when we talk about sports, but the culture that he's been able to build there of openness, of acceptance, of accountability, right? I mean, this Chucky Lozano thing, that was really tough.
Yeah.
I mean, to square off essentially against your highest paid player, over a tantrum he reportedly threw it at halftime. That's not necessarily an easy task to take on if you're a head coach, and yet he's done it. He's great. He should be Major League Soccer's Coach of the Year. He's been fantastic, and if they can win 2 more matches, guys, he would go down in San Diego sports history as the coach of the first team to win a major sports championship in San Diego.
You're starting to be able to kind of to feel that. Like, I think we brought it. I think I actually had this conversation with Joe Musgrove at the first game of the playoffs, and it was like, man, they could actually be the first ones to actually pull this off. And here we are, 2 wins away, as you said, Ryan. Let me ask you about the performance of the team. And I was just talking about Manu Dua. He played a terrific game, really covering both sides of the field. He seemed to be one of the last 2 defenders every single time Minnesota had an opportunity. I mean, this is a young player that looks like they're going to be able to build around along with a few of the other young players they have.
Yeah, he's a guy who a year ago was playing at UC Santa Barbara, right? They made him the number 1 pick in the MLS Super Draft, which means almost nothing, right? The number 1 picks in the Super Drafts don't exactly jump right into the starting lineup. They bring him here. They change his position, guys. And it took, a month, 6 weeks or so before they got super comfortable putting him out there. And he's just been fantastic. And Tony, you know this, especially on a championship team, you need guys to have career years.
Yeah.
You need guys to overplay their salaries, right? You need great value from some of your players. And if you look at, San Diego FC, maybe it's not surprising that Anders Dreyer and Chucky Lozano are kind of their 2, big scorers. They're the guys who make all the money on the team, right? But then you look at Amal Pellegrino, who was acquired at their trade deadline and has been just amazing in sort of starting in Chucky Lozano's old position. He's been great. You look at the goalkeepers. Not enough's been said about Pablo Ciciega, a guy who sat for most of this season, then had to enter in the middle of game 2 of their first round when CJ Dos Santos got hurt, and he's been really good. There are all these guys. Ian Pilcher last night, a player maybe not your average San Diegan can name, Ian Pilcher has a sliding stop of a sure goal to keep, San Diego in the game. And, San Diego's down 1-0. You guys watch enough soccer.
Mm-hmm.
If you're down 1-0, that's when you start to think about all the great San Diego sports teams that couldn't pull it off, right? Keeping that score tied 0-0 and keeping San Diego in it and the momentum and the crowd on their side. Just, you can't say enough about how well those guys have played.
Talking to Ryan Finley of the San Diego Union Tribune about SDFC. And I want to talk about the San Diego sports curse, because going to the championship game in their first year and winning seemed like it wasn't ever going to happen before the season started. Now that we're here, it could happen. I don't want people to get mad at this team if they get to the championship and they lose that game. Like, where are we at with that sort of San Diego sports curse? Because I think it's pretty incredible that the team is in the championship game, in this hypothetical version of mine.
Yes, in a way, the game is over and they've already won, right? By being the first expansion team in MLS history to do so many of the things that they've done, the most wins, the most points, to be the number 1 seed in the Western Conference Final, or in the Western Conference, and now headed to the Western Conference Final. This season is an unqualified success for these guys, and they are the story of the year in San Diego sports. Full stop. Right now in 2025. If they don't win another game, they're the story of the year in San Diego sports.
I think
that said, until somebody wins that championship, I think San Diego's going to look at talented teams like this and go, okay, but can you win the big one?
Right.
And it's unfair to them. I get it, but it's an opportunity for them too. I mean, for this club, they are 2 wins away from doing something that 60 years of San Diego professional sports teams have been unable to do. What a way to write their name in sort of San Diego's record books, than by pulling that off.
Yeah. So as you said, 2 wins away. I want to talk a little bit about that matchup yesterday, because you brought up a great point. If that goal is not, that ball is not stopped from going in the goal, they're down 1-0. And you could sense, at least it seemed like at one point, the frustration, because all Minnesota was doing was just packing it in. They had everybody back there, and you could see if that goal gets in, how that becomes much harder. But what a great assist from Baird to kind of keep that ball in play, sets up Dreyer for a perfect shot. I mean, that's the I guess the one opening that they really had all game. Other than that, they didn't have a ton of opportunity.
I know. It's so funny. I was trying to talk to somebody about this yesterday. Is it like playing kind of the old Syracuse matchup zone defense, right? Where the other guy just packs it in, and it's just so frustrating, right? Because you can't really shoot over it, and you don't really want to drive into it. I could see the frustration building there too. And then you look at that pass by Baird, and Baird is another one of those guys, right? It's been Anders Dreyer's the hero every night, but there's almost always somebody else there too. And, he's a San Diego native, Baird. He was acquired mid-season. This was not a guy who was in their long-term plans at the start of the season, not a guy whose jersey you see out in the community necessarily. He has this great pass to set up this just season-defining goal by Anders Dreyer. This is what championship teams do. They find a way, and I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but they've shown enough, I think, in their last 2 matches, right? The 2 knockout game, or I'm sorry, the Portland match, game 3, and then in this knockout game, I think they've shown enough here, to show me they can play with anybody in this league. And now, they just need 2 more wins.
Talking to Ryan Finley here of the San Diego Union Tribune, easy for me to say. And we talked a little bit about it earlier. I know there's not much that can be done about the field and how it looked last night and everything like that. But I'm seeing people saying that they need to move out of Snapdragon already. Do you think Snapdragon is the right place for them?
Yes, I think it is. I think that look, they will figure this out. Snapdragon had field issues long before San Diego FC showed up. This is something that can be fixed. Obviously I'm looking ahead to what could be 2 weekends from now, where the Aztecs could be hosting a Mountain West title game and SDFC could be hosting an MLS Cup game.
Yes.
And so what's going to happen there? We're working on something today that'll be in tomorrow's paper, laying out a couple of their different options there. But, this is, Snapdragon is, I think, a perfect place for them. It's a fantastic soccer facility. You know, I know it was built for football, but certainly they built it with an MLS team in mind. The sightlines are amazing. The atmosphere is great. People have proven from throughout San Diego that they're willing to drive to Mission Valley just like they used to for the Padres and Chargers. You know, you can't beat the location. It's central. It's great. They just need to be able to grow grass. And at some point, somebody smarter than me is going to explain to me why we can't grow grass in San Diego.
You know,
I don't understand that.
Levi Stadium, when they built it, where the 49ers played, they had a really hard time with the grass because it wouldn't attach to the ground.
I was going to say a lot of times when, you know, a new stadium comes up, it does take some time. I mean, even in a place like San Diego, to get the right mix so that it can deal with the type of traffic that it has on it every year. I think that's the other thing that's unique about the stadium. They got a lot of stuff going on that field throughout the course.
No,
of the
they do. They do. You're right. You talk about the wave, and then you talk about, I mean, there's concerts. There's, you know, until just last season, there was rugby. You know, there's all sorts of stuff going on over there. Is it a great fit for them? I think that it's one of the best 2 or 3 facilities in Major League Soccer, assuming the field holds up.
Right.
And so I think that the big challenge for San Diego State, who again sort of owns and operates this thing with a management company, I think that the big challenge here is going to be to find a mix that works well for football and football, you know, and I'm sure it exists. It's just not in there now.
Right. Last one for me, Ryan, and this is more of an educational question for me. I'm trying to understand Western Conference here, Eastern Conference. If SDFC wins and Miami wins, because I think that's the matchup everybody has kind of got their eyeballs on, at least here in San Diego.
Right.
SDFC would then go to Miami for that final. How does the shield thing work?
The supporter shield?
Yes.
That goes to the team with the best regular season record. So that's over. Philadelphia Union won that. And so
that's most points, right?
Yeah, that's most points, regular season, most points.
Okay.
So that's already been awarded to the Philadelphia Union, who were upset in the playoffs just this last weekend. And so, yeah, the scenarios here are, if Miami wins and San Diego wins, San Diego goes to Miami.
Because they had more points.
Right, more points.
Okay.
Exactly. More points during the regular season. We can talk later about Miami being the site of the Chargers Super Bowl and how sort of fitting it would be, right?
Yeah.
If San Diego won a championship back in Miami, I think that'd be kind of cool. But if, you know, Miami were to lose and San Diego were to win, all of a sudden you've got an MLS Cup match at Snapdragon Stadium.
Wow.
And what a moment that would be. What an unexpected big game for San Diego that would be. So
and did
you know,
you
I'm
say
sure
that
people will be scoreboard watching.
I'm sorry. Did you say that they might run into an Aztec football game, or?
Well, they could, right? I mean, looking at the schedule, if the Aztecs were to host the Mountain West Championship game,
it's very possible.
Which very possible, right? It starts by winning on Friday if you're San Diego State. If they were to host that, and then there's the MLS Cup match, you know, then you start looking. And again, they will have some options. There will be some different scenarios laid out there. You know, nobody's going to move to Carson for a week or anything like that. Like, I think there's a way to make all this happen. But there's going to be some scenarios. Now, again, what are the odds of, I mean, to me, the least likely scenario that we just laid out is Miami losing at home.
Yeah.
Right. You know, if all the favorites just win out this weekend, then San Diego goes to Miami and the Aztecs play the Mountain West Championship game at Snapdragon. But, you know, there are some contingencies in there. If there are a couple of upsets that could, you know, force San Diego State to make a really interesting call with, you know, when does soccer play, when does football play, and where.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
That would be interesting. Listen, I'm here for it all.
Yeah,
as long as you get an SDFC San Diego State final game, I think everybody will be happy no matter where it is. Ryan, we certainly appreciate your time, man. Thank you for coming on.
Hey, anytime, guys. Thank you.
Ryan Finley, San Diego Union Tribune.
Thank you to Ryan Finley for joining us. And right now, it's your chance to win a pair of tickets to Guns N' Roses at Snapdragon Stadium on September 2nd. See Ticketmaster.com for tickets. Just be the 6th caller to 833-288-0973, and you will win those tickets. Well, Tony, have a great Thanksgiving.
You do the same. You got some Skraby Chronicles coming up for the people, huh?
Yeah, I do.
You didn't calculate that one.
I just Googled the most popular side dishes in America, so that might be where we're going.
Hey, you got something to talk about at least. All right, as we said, this is the last show before we head out to Thanksgiving. Thank you guys for listening. Hold up. Sorry. Have a happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys Monday. Skraby Chronicles coming up next.